And to my left,
Uriah ben Israel.
Obadiah ben Israel.
hey, Shabbat Shalom, Deacon, my brother.
Hey, Shabbat Shalom,
Shabbat Shalom, Elder.
Hey, Shabbat Shalom, Deacon.
How you doing, sir?
Hey,
I hope you
glad to
brothers
be
are
here.
doing great
All right.
this Sabbath day.
Not live.
We're not live. I don't think we're live. We are?
I didn't get a notification.
Just want to make sure
Okay.
we don't have a technical issue. Okay, good. Again, my name is Yehuda ben Israel, and we are the keepers of the house of light. And we thank you for tuning in with us today and to observe Yahweh's Sabbath with us. Now, who are we? We are the keepers of the house of light, and we are dedicated to spreading the righteousness, love, mercy, and forgiveness of our Father, Yahweh Elohim of hosts, by and through his son, Yahshua HaMashiach, or Yahshua the Messiah, or Yahshua the Christ, the Lamb of Yahweh, the King of Israel, the High Priest, and our Redeemer and Savior, whose name is blessed forever. We are here to teach and to proclaim the gospel of Yahshua, who magnifies the law of Yahweh and makes it perfect, or who made it perfect. And we have to understand the gospel of Yahshua is the gospel of Yahweh, because Yahshua is just right on, is it not?
That's right.
He came in his father's name, Yahweh. Yahshua's name means what? We know
Yahweh's salvation.
Yahweh's salvation. Captain, you ready?
Yeah.
But I'm looking at you. I'm giving my deacon, my elder this morning, but this afternoon. But again, that's what we're here to do. So today's Sabbath class is entitled Leviticus, the Ways of a Holy People, Part 4. Leviticus, the Ways of a Holy People, Part 4. And before we delve into the Sabbath class discussion, I'm going to turn it over to Elder Uriah for our pre-class readings.
Thank you, my elder.
No problem.
And as usual, we start our pre-class reading in the book of Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4 and 5.
Yes, sir.
And the aim of this pre-class is to challenge, our path to stay in the word of Yahweh, so that we can walk righteously, in His word.
Okay.
Verse 4 and verse 4 and 5, of Deuteronomy chapter 6 is called a Shema, which is derived from the Hebrew word Tamar, which means listen or hear. And we're talking about the commandment of Yahweh. Verse 4, Hear, O Israel, Yahweh, our Elohim, is one other name.
Amen.
And thou shalt love Yahweh thy Elohim with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind.
Okay.
Praise Yah for that. Now let's turn to the book of Matthew, chapter 22. And this is where we see the Messiah himself, the Son of Yah, has magnified his law.
Okay.
Verse 34. But when the Pharisees had heard that he had put the Sadducees to silence, they were gathered together. Then one of them, which was a lawyer, asked him a question, tempting him and saying, Master, which is the great commandment in the law? Yeshua said unto him, Thou shalt love Yahweh thy Elohim with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind.
Okay.
This is the first and great commandment, and the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets.
Boy, aren't you saying? You just said something there in verse 39.
Mm-hmm.
That love is the stumbling block
Mm.
for many people.
Mm.
Particularly our people. That's a stumbling block. To love.
You know where it's a stumbling block, man?
Go ahead.
I mean, pretty much, they don't want to read the book. they will read the New Testament, but they don't want to read the law.
You read the law, you read it, but it's the application. It's showing
That's
you how
right.
to love.
That's
And
right.
you can read it. You know, a lot of people read it, but the application,
Just like you say, it said
it's a stumbling block.
it's a stumbling block, Elder. It said to sing praises with understanding.
Mm-hmm.
So you read with understanding too.
That's
So
correct.
Children read,
Oh yeah.
but they may not understand what they're reading.
Right.
Mm.
Right.
So, you know, our people may not read, they may read, but they may not be understanding what they're
Right.
reading. And then, like you said, how can they apply it if they don't understand
You
it?
don't understand it, and it's difficult showing love from mother to child, father to child, intra-family love.
Mm-hmm.
That's, you know, you love your own,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Describe red to somebody who never saw it.
Mm-hmm.
How do you do that?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's an abstract. And,
That's right.
You know, but again, it's the difference. I think they know it. Again, it's like when we get to that point about this love thy neighbor. And then what did they ask Mashiach, right? Well, who's my neighbor? They had to ask him, who's my neighbor?
Mm-hmm.
They want to know. It's like you said, it's difficult to conceive.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know, okay, now I can love you. Y'all live right around me.
Mm-hmm.
Or we're in the same village and the same. But are those people are they considered my neighbor?
Mm-hmm.
Well, wow, but it's deep.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, and some people just don't know what love is. So it's up to us,
Mm-hmm.
those under the blood of Mashiach.
Correct.
Your job is to show the love.
that's right.
Mm-hmm.
They got to see that light in you. That light is love,
Mm-hmm.
right?
That's right.
So if they can't see the light, so you got darkness in you. If you can't show the love, that's what Yeshua talk about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if the darkness in you, that flesh, is pushing down that light,
Mm-hmm.
well, is it gross darkness?
See.
If you just really messed up that bad?
Right. Mm-hmm.
But, you know,
So now you see the
yeah,
importance.
it's some food for thought.
You see the importance of a teacher.
Yes. You gotta have a teacher. You gotta be taught, and you gotta be able to get into those weightier matters of the law.
That's right.
That's what we talk about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the weightier matters of the law, mercy and judgment and faith, and those things encompass love. We know what love is.
Mm-hmm.
So when the word, like you said earlier, Elder, right? If we read this, this word is going to cut you. It's going to convict you. That's why when Yeshua spoke, because he was the word,
Mm-hmm.
he cut you. He cut him
Mm-hmm.
when he spoke to him. He was, oh man,
Mm-hmm.
oh man.
But it wasn't like he wasn't coming to the people like, well, see, I know this. You don't know this.
Oh no,
No. The words cut because you know you were convicted or you knew
That's
you were
right.
doing this.
Exactly.
You know, and
Exactly.
through it, that spirit.
Just
that
cut
had.
through it. He said, man,
Oh, that's love.
right? That's love. And what were your responses? You either get mad,
Mm-hmm.
the hypocrites get mad, or you're convicted to repentance.
That's right.
Correct. And when the apostles did it, we read the examples all throughout Acts. Multitudes of people got baptized when they heard that they give a testimony of the children of Israel and what they went through and how
Right.
your fathers they sinned and they did, but then afterwards they felt convicted. They got baptized.
Exactly.
Multitude of them.
Got baptized.
Praise God.
See, that's what this is all about. And so, Elder, I ain't gonna hold you up, but just
No,
that
it's okay.
one word, that love, man. And then you got conditions on the love. I do love, but I got conditions. As long as you are doing the things I want you to do,
Mm-hmm.
I will show you grace. I will show you favor. I will show you my love. Right?
Right.
But then Yahweh conditions are just to be obedient. You know, for to go good for you.
Mm-hmm.
When we put conditions on the love, oh no, you know how that is. You know, it could be, you know, well, what do you mean by conditions? Yeah, well, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Life is like that. And when I say the love part, that implies an intimate situation. But I'm going to treat you the same as I should treat anyone else.
That's right.
Simple. They used to call it the golden rule.
It's like, do unto others as you have them do unto you.
That's right.
And that's what Yeshua just said when you read, you know, love your neighbor like yourself. You would want your neighbor to treat you right,
Mm-hmm.
so won't you treat your neighbor right?
Mm-hmm.
So, go ahead, my brother. But but as you can see, nothing's simple.
Well, let's turn to the book of Matthew chapter 18,
Yes, sir.
verse 20. And this is where we receive the authorization, you know, to do the work, you know, of the Most High. That's the reason why we're here also.
Praise God.
Yeah, because He will bless us with His Spirit to do His work. Verse 20. For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them.
Yeah. Great job, my brother. So y'all, we don't need a whole lot of people.
Man.
If you come in with the right spirit, He'll be there.
Mm-hmm.
Be in the midst of us. See, isn't that very reassuring?
Yes, sir.
When you're at home with your wife, you open your Bible up, when you're home with your children, you know, talking to a brother to glorify Him, He's with you. Man.
But you know, deep. I just said on my LA, it's so good that even a stranger, you can run up into a stranger and you're not talking about yourself.
Exactly.
You're talking about the Word to glorify, you know, the Most High.
Exactly. Exactly. Y'all, we getting that glory. You're sanctifying Him.
Yep.
And like you said, Deacon, they're like, I know so much, or I know this. I'm speaking down. I'm going to instruct you in the higher points of law. You come easily and treating with love, talk to somebody, and Yahweh just may want you to plant a single seed.
That's right.
See, that's what we were instructed. That's what I was getting to.
Okay.
Because, like, you know, that's something that's big among our brothers as Hebrews.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to chop that brother up.
What?
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 Show me the fruit that you gained from that.
Oh,
now you might have offended him. What
exactly.
did you gain? That's supposed to be the goal. I mean, that's at the end of the day. What is the goal? My goal is just to show someone, I know this. What is that? How does Yahweh get any glory in that?
None. You can get no glory out of that. You glorified yourself and you don't push away a person from hearing the truth. Yeah. And you're the one doing it. Isn't that something? We say Satan is that immediately when someone hears about the kingdom of the parable of the sower, the first thing it says, and you know, when the person hears about the kingdom, immediately one of the things they lose from hearing, immediately Satan runs up and snatches it. Now, how can it be that you're speaking, you're supposed to be speaking, using your example, you're supposed to be speaking, right, on behalf of Yahweh through His Son, Yahshua the Messiah, and you're cutting somebody up, so you're doing the work, or you're doing the work of Satan? I hate to say it like that, but you're using the word, but then you're cutting the person down and stealing it from them, because they may be offended. They may not even, you may not even have an approach.
The spirit pricked their head. The angel that told them, "Hey man, go over there." Yeah. See, I got you. They're seeking. This is law sheep. They're seeking. So the angel sent them to you. You got that word. I gave it to you. You got it.
Right.
And they come and you run them away.
Slap them up.
See, not understanding your purpose. See, I gave you that. He said I gave him treasures. He gave one. He buried the treasure. The other one he didn't know. No, you're supposed to multiply those talents.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know.
But you know what, my deacon, knowing that a divided house cannot stand.
Correct.
So if you're going to divide the house even much more, it doesn't make any sense. You even teach the word of the Most High. Yeah, so we have to take that into consideration. But let's keep it moving. Let's turn to the book of Isaiah chapter 58. We're going to be doing reading verse 13 and 14. Verse 13. If thou turn away thy foot from the Shabbat, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and call the Shabbat a delight, the holy of Yahweh, honorable, and shall honor him, not doing thine own ways, nor finding thine own pleasure, nor speaking thine own words, then shalt thou delight thyself in Yahweh, and I will cause thee to ride upon the high places of the earth, and feed thee with the heritage of Jacob thy father, for the mouth of Yahweh hath spoken it.
Okay, praise Yah.
Praise Yah, man.
Praise Yah for this Shabbat, and that He's given us a spirit to rejoice and have rest in His day. You know, that's a blessing. Yes. Because Yahshua, again, everything points to the Mashiach, right?
Of course.
So He tells you, I'm the master of the Sabbath. I tell you what is lawful, right?
Yes, sir.
On the Shabbat.
You got to accuse him.
You got to accuse him. Say, do you know who you're talking to? Let's just let you know that the Son of Man is this. He gave Himself that I'm the Son of Man. So we're going to do what the Mashiach wants us to do on this day, Yahshua willing, Yahweh willing, is to enjoy it. And we're going to delve into this class. The class is entitled Leviticus, the Ways of a Holy People, Part 4. Last week, we wrapped up Leviticus chapter 18, and there, we went into prohibited sexual behavior. Was the primary theme of that chapter 18. And prior to that, we were in chapter 17, where we discussed the prohibition against eating blood, right?
That's right.
So we're going, now if you've been with us, you've been following the classes, Yahweh has allowed us to, we took it from the beginning, from Genesis, and now we're in Leviticus. And Moshe, we got into Exodus with the children of Israel in the wilderness. And Moshe was given the charge and to lay out the tabernacle in such a way to construct it in such a dimensions, right?
Yes, sir.
To put certain curtains, certain things in it, certain colors, everything. And he gave a spirit to certain men of skill to rely on to do those works, right?
Yes,
He mentioned two of them by name, but I can't recall their names.
Bezalel.
There he is. Go ahead, my dude. Okay, you jumped that. You own it. So, but that's what we're looking at. So, and then he laid out the holy things.
That's right.
How the sanctuary should look inside, which means the Ark of the Covenant, the showbread, the Holy of Holies, what the priests should adorn themselves in, everything's holy, what their sons should do, how they should be dressed, right? And we went into ultimately how they would be anointed before they could even go before Yahweh to minister unto him, right? They had to be anointed, right? Washed, and then anointed,
Consecrated.
and consecrated for 7 days, right?
That's right.
So, and his sons went through the same thing, all of them, right? And we've read those things, and we should compare those things to where the Mashiach, as a priest under the Melchizedek order, had to go through a similar process before he could begin his ministry. So he was washed, not for the remission of sins, but washed as a priest, right? As that high priest, that spiritual high priest, right?
That's right.
And he was anointed by the actual spirit, right? From heaven, Israel, right?
That's
so
right.
we see these things going, the parallel, because all things are pointing to the Mashiach,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
So now we got it, Yahweh allowed us to get into the book of Leviticus. And so we're going step by step, and we showed the various sacrifices that were required, and how they had to be done, and how the priest's role in all of those trespass sacrifices, burnt sacrifices, meal offerings, everything very meticulous, right? We went through that. And we went to show that Yahshua, as a priest with his role, we went into Hebrews. So I'm taking the time right now just to catch everybody up so you can see where we're going. And this, in the first part of Leviticus, the classes were entitled the works of the law, right? Right, Ellen? They call it works of the law. And we showed those works of the law are those different sacrifices.
That's right.
That the priests were required to do all the time. Yeah. Only they could do it. The high priest was the only one that could go before Yahweh once a year, right? To make an atonement for himself, his household, and for the people, and for the sanctuary.
That's right.
Well, Esau's out in the land. They said they're building a third temple. And I heard this week that they got a school that they built to train priests.
Oh, wow.
But which one of them are Levites?
See? And that's the issue, isn't it? Who's the Levite? You say you're Judah. You say y'all are Jews.
Yes.
They're just making themselves Levite, man.
At the end of the day, that's what they're doing, Ellen.
Yeah.
So we see that, and then they use a confused reasoning by saying, oh, if you're a Kohite, then
you're a priest.
You're a priest. But, well, what you say you're a Jew, is your mother's a Jew, but you're a Kohite, is your father was one. So something's going, the reasoning doesn't make sense.
Mhm.
But we're reading the book to show you how the fathers, all the tribes were in the land. Only the Levites were set aside unto Yahweh.
Correct.
To serve and given to, as we're going to read, and given to the priests, the sons of Aaron. They help, they're all Levites, but only the sons of Aaron can be priests, right? Period. You know, but there's no Judite priest. Yeshua is a Judite. Yeshua comes out of the house of Judah.
That's right.
Right?
So this is a different order.
It's a different order.
Mm.
But you got to understand the first order under the law, right?
That schoolmaster.
The schoolmaster, so you can fully understand what Yeshua's role is. He's doing it all. He's the sacrifice, he's the sacrificial lamb, okay? He's the high priest, and he's the redeemer. He's doing it all. He's the kinsman redeemer for the people. So,
And you know what?
he put it all in Yeshua's
You
hand.
know what, my elder? When you look on all the offering, he's a peace offering, he's a sin offering, he's
that's
a
it.
trespass offering, he's a heave offering, he's everything.
There it is. There it is, Elder. And so that's why we are spending time. That's why we spend time.
Yeah.
So to just hit exactly what you just said, Elder Uriah, because he's all those things.
That's right.
So there's no need for any the blood, any other sacrifice of the blood of goats or bulls, as they're trying to do in our land, is moot.
They have to do it. It's prophecy.
Yeah, they got to carry out their job. Yeah, they don't know.
Our fathers did that too.
Yeah.
They ordained priests of people of any tribe. So the kings of Israel did that.
Yeah. And we're going to see that in Judges, when we get into Judges, and we see a lot of that. And we even see, you got to have a foundation to build upon.
That's the most important thing.
You know.
You need a foundation. You can't just go out there and build up your walls. It's gonna fall.
Exactly.
You need a foundation. Know the depth of what you need to, to go,
Right.
so you can be firm when you go out there. Or in case there's a storm or a wind, it's gonna blow down your wall.
Exactly.
So come on, man. And
Yeah,
this is the foundation.
Exactly.
We have to take our time to dig deep to get more understanding what these laws are saying to us.
I agree. Otherwise, you're going to be half caught. You're not going to be fully girt. When you get to the gospel, he said, put that full armor on.
That's
full
right.
armor of Elohim on. Well, that's knowledge. That's understanding. So we had a great discussion about that in a new moon. When we talked about putting that full armor on up in Ephesians 6, I believe, it's spiritual warfare. And based on the looks of things, particularly our people are having a hard time in identifying, not only they can't identify that they're in a war.
You got, Satan is the prince of the earth. But you got to have tools to fight him. And Yahweh gives us the tools. Yahweh's laws and his rules are his tools.
Exactly.
That he's given us.
Exactly.
That's what the
That is so true, my deacon.
Exactly.
You
got to have those tools.
that law.
Exactly. Exactly. Go to Ephesians 6 and read that. And before we jump back up, we get to Leviticus 19. Let's just see what those tools are, Elder Deacon Obadiah, my brother. And see, and these are the tools, and these are the weapons in a spiritual warfare that we're all engaged in. We've been here. Now that Yahweh has brought us out of this darkness into this light, now we should be able to, now we definitely need these tools. We definitely need these things. So if you go to Ephesians, I think Ephesians 6, verse 10 and to 18.
10 to 18?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So we're at Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Adonai and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of Elohim, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Therefore, take unto you the whole armor of Elohim, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day.
Okay.
And having done all, to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith you shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. And take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of Elohim, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints.
So this is a snapshot of what you have to do every day out here, Judah, and people listening. You listen. This is a spiritual warfare, Elder.
That's right.
You got to be equipped. You got to have your mind. Could you look at that word wiles again? I love that term because we're dealing with an adversary, right? And while you're looking at that, again, we go ahead.
You know what? I just look back at verse.
Okay.
And just go straight ahead. Go to that verse. That phrase. He said, "The evil days."
The evil day.
So that is telling us that during our lifetime, we're not going to have it all that good.
Right.
We're going to struggle as we go, day by day.
Amen.
And,
Amen.
But the most important thing is He has provided us with that armor to protect ourselves as we go.
Amen.
And, we're going to get through it.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to get through. You're going to have some bad days. You're going to have some tough days in life.
Yeah.
But
go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
It was interesting. This is what I saw. Verse 13 all the way down to 17.
Okay.
Verse 17, the latter part of verse 17 says, and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of Elohim.
Right.
Right? Okay, so this is the word. We got the book.
Gotcha.
Okay, but from verse 13 or verse 12 all the way down, everything that you read is spiritual.
That's right, but it's spirit. Same idea.
It's
same
all
thought.
spiritual.
It's all spiritual.
It says, stand having your loins girt about with truth.
Right.
That's
How
right.
you do? Where's the truth on my loins? Show me that.
See.
You see, these are spiritual things.
Now, look at this. Look at this, Obi. I'm gonna show you. Look at this. Look at this, Elder Uriah. I'm gonna show you how the Spirit works. Now, what do I have circled in verse? As he was reading, what did I circle here in verse 13?
Oh man, the word truth.
Truth. I'm ready to talk about this. See, that's the Spirit.
Righteousness.
Is it a physical shield? No, it's spiritual.
Yeah.
Right. That's right. See, if you don't understand Yahweh's, the truth is the law. My law is the truth. That's that law. That His word is spiritual. Yes. Yeshua is made flesh. The word made flesh. So when He's speaking, that is that word. These things are spiritual things,
That's right.
and they're not carnal things. And your enemy, that your adversary, is not carnal. I mean, it's not flesh.
Correct.
He's a spiritual being as well.
He's Prince.
He's Prince.
The Prince of this earth.
He's the Prince of this earth.
No, it's better than.
And He got different, and it's different orders. See, when we say orders of angels, He has order of demonic forces. Now, are we saying Satan coming after you directly? I don't know. You got people assigned to do that. You got spirits assigned, unclean spirits, demons. Well, you know what? And if He know you, well, you might be a problem. So, but let's hope that Yahweh knows us, and we're written in that Lamb's Book of Life, and that we have these hedges around us. But the term I want you to use, look at that term. Read that definition again. I love that definition of the term wiles in verse 11, because this is, you got to stand against Satan, the devil. And he uses certain tactics.
That's right.
Certain stratagem. So what's that word, the definition of wiles?
My elder, it says devious or cunning strategies employed in manipulating or persuading someone to do what one wants. Devious or cunning strategies employed in manipulating or persuading someone to do what one wants.
Could you do me a favor, Obi? Could you read verse 11 again, and instead of using the word wiles, just put those various definitions in that. Just read it. Just read it out. Okay, follow me?
Yes, sir. So we have, it says, verse 11, put on the whole armor of Elohim that you may be able to stand against the devious or cunning strategies employed by the devil, or of the devil.
Exactly. Yeah. So He's not always coming at you straight up.
No.
He's going to go back door on you. He's going to go to the side. He's going to come above. Because particularly if you're in His word. Right. So why should He go forward with you? He'll tell you something you can,
And don't think at all time He's going to come with a strap. what you said, he's going to do whatever he needs to do to get you into his corner.
Right.
He may give you $1 million.
Right.
He said
Exactly.
Would line the heart.
Yeah,
okay.
Right, that right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A little bit at a time. If you give a little, if I can get, when we saw the Mashiach, when he was testing the Mashiach, we discussed this in the new moon, but when he was coming at him after his 40 days and 40 nights of fasting, and he went to him to tempt him.
Mm-hmm.
But that's an example of spiritual warfare, showing you how Yeshua, the master, dealt with it. So when we see, it was a little bit, he said, well, I tell you what, he first started off with, well, if you're the son of man, turn these stones into bread. Oh, Yeshua threw that word back at him, the law, right? He said, thou shalt live by every word of the Yahweh.
Not live by, yeah.
I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
But then the next step was, he said, well, if you be the son of man, he took me on a mountain, throw yourself over this cliff. He threw the word on him. If you be the son of man, Yahweh have his angels cast you up, pick you up, lest you dash your foot against a stone. Right? Quoted Psalms 91, right?
That's right.
Yeshua threw it back at, thou shalt not tempt Yahweh thy Elohim. And then finally, this is what he wanted all along. I'm sorry. Now, what he wanted all along was this. He took him on a pinnacle in a vision and showed him all the kings of the earth and said to him, I give you all these, right? And their glory. If you just bow down and worship me, show me obeisance, right? For these kingdoms have been given to me.
That's right.
And I give it to whom I want.
People didn't catch that.
Right? They didn't catch that part. And the Mashiach said to cast him on out after that. Say, get thee from me. But that's what he wanted. If they could get you to compromise early on, he didn't come at him directly with what he wanted.
Yeah.
Right? Did he come at Eve he didn't come to Eve directly that he wanted to take dominion away from them, that he wanted them to break the law of Yahweh and bring sin into the earth. He didn't go that route. He came to deal with her on something subtly. Those vows.
Yeah.
Go back door. This is my end. I'm going to use a strategy. I want to get you here. So, but let me go here. You're simple. You're not seeing the big picture. Yeshua knew the big picture. So it's an interesting to look at. You got the art of war. If you're going to fight a battle, if you're going to engage in any type of military warfare, right? You have the first thing you got to do is know your enemy.
That's right.
Who are you fighting? Didn't Yeshua say that?
Well, Yahweh say, every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood.
Right.
See, so now they come with the art of war, trying to combat that which Yahweh has put forth. But he already he said, I'm the host of the battle now. So they think they're doing something.
Yeah.
He got,
Yeah, they're doing the battle. But even with the wisdom, like Yeshua said, well, what man go off the war and find out he ain't got enough troops to deal with? You got to count the cost.
Correct.
You got to use wisdom.
That's the first
so
thing you have to do, man.
Understand, like you said, brother, we have to sit down and say, well, I've choked. Yahweh's gave me a spirit. I'm in this word. I don't got washed up. So now I got to learn how to walk. I'm a babe. I'm still eating. I'm still drinking milk. But before long, you're gonna get stronger and stronger in the word, to where you don't have to drink the milk. You're gonna get meat. You need some more meat. But guess what? You gotta have some. But that's why Yahweh, I guess he allows Satan to do his job. He brings those tests to you. Yahweh may test you for his own purpose. Or you're just being challenged by the devil. But now you're supposed to be flexing a little bit now. The first attack, you freak out. I can't believe I'm having problems in my marriage all of a sudden. I can't believe I'm having problems with the job all of a sudden. I got in this truth.
All that to try to push you away.
Right. What that parable say. And some get the word and they go on for a minute. But when persecution comes,
for the word's sake.
For the word's sake.
Right.
By and by, they are offended. And they take their leave. I gotta go back and I gotta leave this. They go back.
Right.
So but you gotta have that full armor on. That's why he said you gotta put the full armor on. You can't be half-stepped.
No. Be you hot or be you cold.
Right.
But
not lukewarm.
Correct.
I'm gonna spit it out. So, but praise y'all for this, man. Because we have to understand this is spiritual warfare. It's not Hebrewisms.
No, sir.
You're following the way of Christ. And it's laid out how you're supposed to walk. right?
Mm-hmm.
It's laid out what you're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
So why are you still confused?
It says, lead not to your own understanding. So
That's right.
Your own understanding will leave you confused. That's where the confusion is coming from. Yahweh's not the author of confusion.
Amen, bro.
See?
Hey, good.
So he already got the blueprint is laid out. See? So now
But how many of us want to follow that blueprint?
they come with a carbon copy. They want to come.
I know, we fight and wrestle each and every day, but
Right. Nobody want to follow this thing, but they follow it. Some do. We're doing our best to follow it, but we're telling people, our people, well, what's the point of me doing all this righteous stuff, and these people out here, they're unrighteous, and I'm the good guys are finishing last. Well, more than likely, you're gonna face you're gonna die, right? And they're gonna throw you in that ground right next to the unrighteous. So now, we believe in this book. There's gonna be a resurrection. There's gonna be a judgment. So you keep on following what the wicked are doing because you're thinking they're getting all the rewards and perks. Well, guess what? So you decide to turn your back on the Most High, on the law, on the truth, on the gospel. Well, guess what? Should you not get the same thing the wicked get at that time of judgment? The wages of sin is death, not just popping you in that casket. Yahshua is talking about the forever death, that second death.
Yep. You're going to be burned in the lake of fire
That's my point.
forever.
That's right.
I'm not going down with you. I'm going to try my best to stay out of that situation.
That's why, it's easy for us as a people, especially in the truth, to get discouraged.
It's right. You're right.
There's a lot of, in that those are the wiles of the devil too.
Exactly.
But nonetheless, we have to try to be persistent. And the definition of persistent, Elder, it says firm or obstinate continuance in a course of action in spite of difficulty or opposition.
Man.
So people must have patience, and then the rewards will come after that.
Exactly.
So it's like you say, the trial. If I have a sword and I never take that sword out and bring it into war, how can I bring that sword to the king and say, you give this to your best man and take it out? It's been proven in battle. You can't say that if you didn't take that sword out and shed some blood with it.
Exactly.
So that sword must be used, tried, and then he put it back in that fire until he sees his reflection. He purges all the impurities out, get all that dross out of it. And then he sees his reflection, he says, okay, give that to my best man.
Amen.
That's right.
Amen. Yeah, but you're right. That was Saul talked about. You got to endure to the end.
To the very end.
You don't get the reward by quitting halfway through. And our fathers in America, they do. They sing on gospels and different songs. Trouble don't last always.
That's right.
It's going to be a day. It's going to come up the daylight. You're going to come out of that storm. Now the thing is, are you going to come out of that storm stronger, or are you going to come out of it beat and haggard? But Yahweh through His Son Yahshua and that Spirit, it gives us the opportunity to come out of it. Like you said, you've been in the fire, but you come out strong. I can deal with this. I've been through that, brother. And you can reflect in your life. Oh, I had that situation back in 2020 or something, 2010. I can make it. I can make it. I know Yahweh brought me through that. Yahweh's going to bring me through this.
See?
Yahweh opened a door then. Yahweh's going to open a door now.
See, we reflect, but you got to
reflection.
Look forward.
Right.
That's the thing I think our people miss. We reflect, but we forget to look forward.
You got to go forward.
Joshua Moshe died. He saw Moshe die. When Moshe died, he went up in the mountain. Now, now Joshua, this charge has been put in your hand. And you can sit here crying, oh man, I wish Moshe was here. I hear you. But you go take the people and bring them across that river. And you want it's your turn now.
It's your turn.
You've been prepared for this.
Right.
You've been waiting the whole time. That's why I had you in.
Exactly. And we have those moments in life. We have what did David have to do? When you reflect, when they took the wives and his mighty men wives, they took them. He got the ephod, right? And he had to sit there and reflect, and he thought about what Yah had done for him.
That's right.
And he said, what should I do? Should I go after you? Go and get those people. You know I'm with you. But even then, so you no matter what you're going through, the Christianity has made it, even as Hebrews, we get so caught up in the Hebrewism, we forget that we can call on our Elohim.
That's right.
Why are you here broke and can't, you can, why don't you ask him? Why don't you have some faith? You don't even want to ask God in the name of Yeshua for nothing. I'm gonna wait to get to the wilderness, and I'm gonna wait to this. All the different things. Well, who said you're gonna be around for all that? Who promised you this? Find me the angel. Let's see that angel that spoke that to you. Because you should have a guarantee that you're gonna get up out of here. The only guarantee you got right now is today, and you got that guarantee. If you endure to the end, your end may be next week.
That's right.
You understand?
Correct.
Your end may be next week. Y'all forbid. Right?
So that means
your death.
That's right. So that means we all have to be profitable to the Messiah. We can't just sit on the side and say, "Oh man, I'm gonna wait." What is the sense having you? What am I gonna do with you?
That's
If you're not gonna, if I'm not gonna do any work, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
Get up and do
now
something.
what reward do you have?
That's that talent, right? You better be talented.
And what reward do you really have? Let's go to Revelation. I'm going to show you. You're right. Go to Revelation 21. And let's see the reward of somebody sitting on the side in the truth, in the knowledge, right? But he shook, as the scripture said, the rapper said, you shook. You can't do nothing. You shook. Remember back in the old days? Mom D, back in the old days. Not that far though, back in the old days, but I don't want to date myself. This is what you got to look forward to. Just go to Revelation 21, verse 6, and read it to 8. And so this is what we're looking at. You can, some of this, well, I'm not those, but are you the first one? Go to 6 and read on down.
Revelation chapter 21, verse 6. And he said unto me, it is done. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give unto him that is athirst of the fountain of the water of life freely.
Praise God. That's what we're looking for.
Verse 7. He that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his Elohim, and he shall be my son.
There it is, isn't it? Is that what you said? You got to be persistent. You got to persevere. You have to endure. You have to weep for a night sometime. But the joy comes in the morning. Correct? But that's what you're looking for, a new day, but also you're looking for that great day. If Yahweh call you and you go to sleep, you still got that faith, right? That I'm buried with the Mashiach, and I'm gonna be raised up in him.
That's
right.
That's right.
So you can see these things, so you can hear this word and say, and we'll hold Yahshua to his word that he that overcometh shall inherit all things. The meek shall inherit the earth. Various things that he's promised us.
That's right.
But when you get to that last verse, now read, Elder, and we're going to see.
Verse 8. But the fearful.
Stop right there. But the fearful. Well, I ain't doing no works. I don't want it. Like what were you saying earlier? What were you saying earlier about that? Sitting on the sideline.
You have to be profitable, man.
Yeah, profitable. And a lot of times you're not going to take a chance.
Yeah.
Because people are going to look at me different if I start passing literature out. I don't want to do certain things. You know, all those things. I don't want to offend the world. I don't want to talk about, I don't want to call on Yahweh. I don't want to mention Yahshua's name to my people that come around me. And that's a reason for that too now. Don't get me wrong. Because sometimes, you're dealing with, don't cast those pearls, right?
Correct.
Before the swine.
That's right.
I understand that. But you know what I'm saying.
But it's not about you. I mean, the Spirit at that moment, at that time, the Spirit would, help you.
Right. You know the
certain words, the Spirit that you need to do at that moment. So you're don't worry about it.
So, but again, you still have to have an understanding that that fear. Can we look up fear?
Yes, sir.
Why are you doing that?
Yes,
That's
sir.
see, when you're fearful, Yahweh, you got to be bold with your Elohim.
That's right.
You can't be afraid. How you going to be afraid? Was Yahshua afraid? Yeah, he wasn't afraid. He was afraid, but he did what Yahweh, he had that spirit and he did it. He didn't want it to happen, but he said, not my will, like you just said, but thy will be done. It ain't about me.
It's not about
Peter and them were scared. They were scared at that time. But guess what? They got their wits about them. They regrouped. So fearful is defined as what, Obi?
Fearful is being, or the emotion of having fear. But the word fear itself says an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain or a threat. It also says a feeling of anxiety concerning the outcome of something or the safety and well-being of someone. And then one last one that it said, to be afraid of as likely to be dangerous, painful, or threatening.
Thank you.
And it says fear begins in the mind.
And there it is, right there. Well, then we read in Ephesians 6, you got to put that helmet on. You got to have your mind right. That's part of your. That's part of your armor. You got to be in His Word. So as you said last week, Obi, casting. You got to. It's all the warfare starts up here.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
You can't have all that emotional fear. Well, they're not going to like me because I walk in the Mashiach.
Mm-hmm.
They think I'm one of these. They think I'm in a cult. They think I'm in this. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Fear. And then that keeps you from growing, and taking those next steps.
Correct.
And boldness, right? So why do you think Yahweh gonna, if you deny me before men, I'm gonna deny you.
That's right.
Before the Father.
Yeah.
So now keep on reading what happened with this group of people here. Now we read in 6 and 7, those who overcome shall inherit all things. But what?
But the fearful, we're in Revelation chapter 21, verse 8. But the fearful and unbelieving.
Mm-hmm. You might see some of you may be fearful, you might believe, but you're fearful. It's both of them. It's not or. Fearful and unbelieving. Well, I believe, but you're fearful. You never could do nothing. You got no faith. You couldn't do what Yahweh wants you to do. For whatever reason, that spirit on you, right?
And not to take it out of perspective, to let because fear, the Mashiach feared before he was the charge of even death, right? So
exactly.
we wanted to think that.
No.
But nonetheless, fear is it's an emotion that everyone is subject to.
Exactly.
That's right.
We can overcome that fear through our faith.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what you agree. That's what I want to say. Yeah. That fear. Everybody's gonna have doubt. That Peter, they were afraid.
Yeah.
They about to move, but they regrouped. They got themselves together.
Like you said.
But you can't. The fear we're talking about right here, it's a whole type of dumb fear. It's like you
sitting on your foot now.
Yeah. I love my money. I may lose some money. Yahweh knows the heart. Because if I go out here and start doing this,
I'll lose all this.
Well, we're going to show you an example how you lose all that. But continue to read.
You see, when you understand the attribute of the flesh itself, and if you can get over that, out of all those things what's made of the flesh, you're good to go. You're good to go. Yeah, you actually overcome.
Right.
Fear, whatever, unbelieving, because those are the things that make up these flesh, these bodies, this earth, the bodies. And you have to get over it with the word.
Right. But that goes right back from our thesis, going back to Ephesians 6.
That's right.
You said it a moment ago. Faith. You can overcome that fear through faith, but you got to have that shield of faith so you can withstand the fiery darts of the devil. So you're not fearful unto death.
Right.
That's
you say, I might be afraid, but you know what? I'm going to go out here. I'm going to do what I got to do.
That's right.
I'm not. I got faith. They can't kill me. And if they kill me, we saw what our Hebrew brothers did in the Babylonian king, right? They said, we're not even going to speak. When they get ready, we're not going to bow down to that idol. We're not even, we're not even going to speak to you all fancy, but we're not going to worship that idol.
That's right.
And because we know our Elohim is able, if you throw us in that fire, we know our Elohim is able to deliver us out. But even if he don't, we're not worshiping.
That's right.
That's right.
See, I want that kind of faith one day, bro.
Great.
But we never been tested like that. So, and I thank Yahweh for that, because you don't never know. Right. You know what I'm saying? I may not now. I'm not saying I want to go through all that. Be honest, right?
Then when you look on the flip side, we're talking about love.
Okay.
The attribute of love. Instead of unbelieving is believing.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. The only person you're supposed to fear is the Creator.
Right.
So if you don't fear anything, I mean, look on all the attributes of love, endurance,
Right.
patience. If you can show all those qualities, you get over the fleshly desire.
Right.
Praise God.
Praise God. But we know in that Yahweh still gets the glory because he had to give you the spirit to have that.
Praise God.
Because if Yahweh didn't see, Yahweh gets the glory in all things. So I'm going to give you the courage. If you just pray, sometimes you don't even know what to pray for.
Oh, come on. The angel, they don't intercede.
Just give me the strength.
Yeah.
Just give me the strength, Yahweh. Sometimes you just fall out. Right?
That's right.
But go ahead and wrap up. Let's see what we know that if we overcome in faith, right? With that whole armor of Yahweh on us. Excuse me, that shield of faith on us, that we can overcome. So we may not find ourselves in the fear this is talking about, this is judgment. This is that final judgment. This is that lake of fire type judgment. So continue, wrap that on up.
Verse 8. But the fearful and unbelieving and the abominable and murderers and warmongers, sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death.
Praise God. See, isn't it kind of odd that the fearful and the unbelieving are going to be in that lake of fire too?
Of course.
You better be bold in this thing with the Mashiach. Because you don't know when you got to get out here.
Man.
Elder, you just said you got to be profitable. I'm sorry, you right on. I'm going to use the same word, profitable. That's right. Yeah. What profit are you to the Mashiach?
Okay.
And you mentioned it earlier, Obi too. He gave you a talent. Maybe you mentioned it prior to the class. But Yahweh's giving you a talent. Don't look at my talent. Don't look at Elder Uriah's talent. Don't look at this brother's talent. You better look in the mirror and look at your talent. What Yahweh's giving you. You're too busy looking at other people. That's right. Evaluating them. Looking at the splinter in their eye. For example, when you want to judge them bad. But how about the beam in yours? Correct. Well, why Yahweh gave him that spirit? Well, what is Yahweh? Yahweh didn't give you anything? Isn't that the 10 Commandments? You're coveting now. That's you're coveting what Yahweh, you coveting what another man got. And you may have more money than that man. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. You can have more, they can have more money than you. Live in a bigger house than you. They got a wife, children, everything that you think they should be satisfied and content. And I'm talking about those in this truth, in the way, and those not in the way. But guess what? They'll turn an evil eye toward you, and you probably got a little piece of car and going through changes. But they see a spirit on you. I want that. I can't believe. How does he understand so fast? And I got all the stuff. I should be the person doing this. Why did Yahweh call him to set up a church? Why did Yahweh put that spirit on him to do this? You know those people. I can imagine with El Yaakov when he set up the church we come out of. I'm quite sure people looked at him kind of odd. I don't know, but I'm quite sure.
Of course.
But he did what Yahweh had him to do. That was his job. Yeah. And I'm going to do my job, and this brother Uriah going to do his job. Obi got to do his job, right? And some days we're going to be fearful. We're going to wonder about a lot of things some days.
We're going to fall too.
Correct. We're going to fall. You're right. You're so correct.
But what Yahweh said, a righteous man falleth 7 times.
Amen.
Yeah, but he will rise again.
Exactly.
Because of the spirit that he put in him.
Amen, my brother. And that's so wonderful.
He's going to brush it off. He's not going to be fearful and say, oh, what are they going to think about? That's the part that better be a part of the stuff from your mind.
Man, if they fail, that's fine. If I fail, that's good because I was talking about, I think about things sometimes, and but that word just lets me know something. He says, Prophet Isaiah says, I've been old and I've been young. I've been young and I've been old. But I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor seed begging bread. And I might paraphrase, it might not be a perfect quote, but you get the drift of what I'm saying. So Yahweh, I'm righteous, not in my righteousness, I'm righteous in Yeshua.
Righteousness, yeah.
In him, I got righteousness. In him, I'm bold. In him, I'm what? Let the weak say they're strong.
That's right.
and I can get strong. And when I'm strong, then I ain't gonna be afraid. And if you kill me, you can't kill me because y'all, I'm not dead, because y'all always say he's the Elohim of the living.
That's
he's
right.
the God of Abraham, Isaac, and
right.
Jacob. You might die, but I'm not in the death. I'm just sleeping if that happens. You know what I mean? Now, you may be already, you're not in the, don't be you the person that's not in the Lamb's book. We don't see your name. What happened? Get ye from me, you workers of iniquity.
I never
knew you. You workers of lawlessness. See, now let's go on back to this law. Now, see, so we've been reading the word, but see, y'all always do the spirit how you want to do these classes.
But you know what, Elder? I've been thinking about what you pretty much said about Leviticus chapter 18. And what I realized, and I've been like, man, this is mankind downfall. The main, why mankind in this earth, turn away from Yahweh. They want to follow after the ways of the world. All these sins that are associated with this chapter.
Right.
Look at the world today.
They do it. They embrace each and every one of them.
Oh man.
Some facet or another.
Correct.
When you read Leviticus 18.
Yeah.
But remind you though, this is the law that Yahweh gave to us and our forefathers. That's why the class title is so important. The ways of a holy people.
That's right.
Now, if you're not a sanctified, if you're not kind of walk in godliness, if you're not kind of walk in a sanctified manner before Yahweh and through and by his son Yahshua, well, this don't apply to you then. So we can't get mad at some people in the other lands what they do. But Yahweh didn't give it to them, but Yahweh don't woke us up, correct?
Correct.
So now we understand this is how we're supposed to behave as a people, as individuals, as a community.
Correct.
We can't do the way, something you always say, you can't get caught up in the ways of the heathen. You can't learn not the ways of the heathen, walk not by them. Don't follow their ways.
Envy not the oppressor.
Envy not the oppressor. But they got everything open.
Yeah.
They got them big houses, big
That's why
money.
he gave it to them. He said to provoke you to jealousy. Is right.
Right. That's right.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's fixed. It's a fixed fight. We have to endure this thing out because it's already written out. It's already set up this way.
But maybe I can start selling dope, get me some money, and I'm gonna go ahead and find the easy way to get me what those Gentiles got. So I'm gonna sell poison to my brothers and sisters, so that I can ride around like a peacock. See, and we do that. Some of us take that wicked route. You can't destroy their people, but you go destroy yours, all for a couple of bucks. But in the end, but Yahshua, don't deceive yourself. You just read it, the lake of fire. If you don't stop, that's going to be your end. That's going to be, so our Elohim is merciful.
Correct.
He says, come on, let's reason together, man. You don't have to live like that. And if you're going to stumble, you're going to sin. Or if you didn't sin, then there'll be no need for the law.
Correct. For
the law, the LAW.
But you know what, my elder Deacon, I would love to read a couple verses in Matthew chapter 24, if you don't mind.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, it's good to read the entire chapter. Yeah, but I'm going to pick it up at verse 10.
Okay. The Gospel of Matthew.
The Gospel of Matthew chapter 24. I'm pick it up at verse 10. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold.
That's the iniquity, lawlessness.
But he that endure until the end, the same shall be saved.
Praise God.
When we look at that, I'm not even going to go any further. Through the struggling and everything we go day by day, man,
right.
We have to make sure we endure to the very end.
Exactly.
Salvation is not given until the very end. Find out when is the end.
Exactly. Your journey, your battle's over.
Yeah.
You've been a good soldier.
Yeah.
Fought the good fight. Correct?
Correct.
Yeah. And this is saying, so when we're around, this is because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So
right.
lawlessness is that not? We see this daily.
Every day.
Lawlessness. Our people are caught up in it. The Gentiles are caught up in it. In America, particularly.
Oh man. Sometimes you have to think, man, is there any righteous one anyway?
Man, I'm scared to ask that question. Because you know what, but through
No, but what did Yahweh say? What did Yahweh say? Is there any righteous one in the world? What he said?
Not one. I haven't found none of them that stood up.
But he said also, I have reserved 7,000.
Not to need a ball.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
It's always y'all is around there.
Not good among our people.
Oh, it's a lot of good.
I think it's just not highlighted.
That's correct. We magnify wickedness when it comes to Israel.
Yeah.
True Israel is magnified by all the wickedness in the country.
We got a question on here. It says, please explain what not to cast pearls before swine means.
Okay.
That's our brother Meshach.
Oh, okay. Let's find that. Shabbat Shalom. Let's go there. You want to go? Is that in
Matthew chapter, I think 6.
Okay.
Matthew chapter 6 or 7.
Okay. Because we're gonna. You said 6, right?
Yes, chapter 6.
Okay. You threw it out there. Following you. Following your lead. Captain.
Oh no, I'm looking. Yeah, because oh man,
It's 7.
7. Yeah, that's a 6 or 7. Yeah.
Go ahead and read it, Obi.
Let me. Okay, 7.
It's in verse 1. You gonna read?
I picked up at verse 1.
All right.
But I never get to. That title was given to me, and I never get to do that title.
I see. Perfect opportunity.
No, but it's been a while now, so it's like 2.5 years. I don't know if I remember the notes. I don't have the notes right now.
Let's read it so we can wrap it up.
Matthew chapter 1, verse 7. Chapter 7, verse 1. Judge not, that you be not judged. For with what judgment you judge, you shall be judged. And with what measure ye mete, it shall be measured to you again. And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but considerest not the beam that is in thine own eye? Or how wilt thou say to thy brother, let me pull out the mote out of thine eye, and behold, a beam is in thine own eye? Thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam out of thine own eye, and then shalt thou see clearly to cast out the mote out of thy brother's eye. Give not that which is holy unto the dogs, neither cast your pearls before swines, lest they trample them under their feet, and turn again and rend you.
So the question was what again?
Explain.
Explain what does it mean to not cast your pearls before swine.
I guess when you first read the verse, it says, give not that which is holy.
What are holy? The words.
The words are holy and they're sanctified. Holy means to be sanctified, to set apart. And
so Israel is the one that is really set apart.
Right.
But Yahweh haven't spoken to no other nation but us.
Okay.
But go ahead.
But go ahead, like you said. But now the question is, interpreting verse 6, give not that which is holy unto the dogs, neither cast you your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn again and rend you. So you're right, the children of Israel are a sanctified people unto Yahweh. But Yahshua is speaking here, as you saw about verse 5, cast out, we talked about those things by being hypocritical. And when you're dealing with casting pearls or holy things, you're dealing with people that don't have an understanding. They may be a base person that you're talking to. And they don't even have any understanding of the spiritual and holy things. And so let's read an example of what that, when we say pearls, and we're gonna read from that dictionary. Go ahead.
No, that's before. You have to look in two words: dogs and swine.
Right.
They are unclean animals.
That's giving you a clue, right?
These are clues that arrive from this verse here. So,
right. They're metaphors.
Yeah.
Yahshua is speaking in a parable, a metaphor.
That's right. That's right.
So you have to be able to pick up on the word holy, sanctified.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those are godly things, godly traits,
Mm-hmm.
treasures. But he said, don't give that which is holy unto the unclean animal or unclean beast. And as you understand, Yahweh in the scriptures use that term beast to refer to the goyim or the unclean nation.
That's right. That's right.
So here you're talking about you can use this in an interpersonal manner.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the people you're dealing with day to day. That's why I said earlier, you have to have discernment on who you're talking to.
That's right.
You have to have spiritual discernment.
That's right.
Not that I think you made a comment about, well, you can speak to them, but yeah, you still have discernment. But the Spirit, as I got in this truth, and I think all of us can attest to, when we first get in, we're so excited. We're passing lit to everybody on the street. We're getting in conversation. Sometimes we want to cut them up. You know, I'm going to cut these other people's doctrines apart.
Mm-hmm.
You get caught up in that. And that's the zeal.
That's zeal.
That's important.
Yeah, that's right.
And praise God for that.
Praise
right?
God.
But then as you grow and mature, and in the word, now, and you've had some instances where people look at you like, I don't hear that, man. Well, you respect them. You respect their right not to hear that. You're not going to force it on them, correct?
Now you're casting a person.
Now you're casting something that's beautiful.
Upon something.
Yeah. They may say something, I don't believe in none of that.
Because
right?
you done pissed them off.
Right. You don't provoke them. And you don't provoke them.
See?
So tell us, let's look at that word pearl. And this is what we're going to read out of. Let him read out of this video. Oh, hold 1 second.
No, I'm just saying, as Obi is going, for that answer, different the prayer. I turn to 1 John chapter 4 also, and what pertaining to what you said, it said, beloved, believe. Chapter 4, verse 1. It said, beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirit whether they of Elohim, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. So when you meet someone out there, don't just blurt out the Most High words like that. Try the spirit to see whether that person deserves it or not. In other words, if the Most High want you to deliver that good news to that person.
Correct.
So you have to try the spirit. So it will come all the way back to let's find out what is the pearls on what is holy.
Right.
Go ahead. Because you just can't just give them Yahweh's word, because if they're not ready for it yet, they're going to trample on it.
See, what did Yahshua say? Be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove.
Exactly.
That's right.
So what you're reading out of too.
Oh yeah, this is the Zondervan's Pictorial Bible Dictionary. Right? This is here. It says, so this is the definition of pearl.
You speak up good.
Yes, sir. It says in the Old Testament, or the KJV, they have more correctly rendered the word crystal. In the New Testament, the word is used in several ways. It denotes the costly, precious stone. Pearls are accidental consecrations or concretions formed within the bodies of certain mollusks, especially the avicula, Margitera from the ocean. Margaritifera from the ocean, Indian Ocean, and the Persian Gulf. The word has a figurative use in the New Testament.
Okay, figurative. Okay.
In Matthew chapter 7, verse 6, it is used to stand for spiritual truths which should not be cast before profane men who will not receive them. Christ is set forth in the parable of Matthew chapter 13, verse 45 and 46, as a merchant seeking the pearl of great price.
Right.
Right? And it says in the book of Revelation, chapter 12, the gates of New Jerusalem are each made from a pearl, a costly stone,
exactly.
Treasure.
See, this is what we're looking at. What is that holy? That's what it means. You're not going to cast something, this Holy Ghost, I mean, this gospel of Yahshua, HaMashiach, is valuable. It's holy, it's valuable, and it's so great. Like he make that reference, it's like a man that finds a precious stone in the field. This is the kingdom of heaven we're talking about. He go and sell everything to go get it. So if it's that valuable, why would you waste your time having discourse and conversation with men or women who are not going to receive it?
Correct.
It's like you putting your best on. You know what I mean? It's like you put your best on. You're not going to put what? New wine in the old bottles, are you? As Christ said, it's going to burst. Right? The old wine going to tell us, oh, you put new wine into what? New bottles. Right? You're not going to talk, you get your new suit, your old suit, you're going to put no new stuff on it, as Christ said, patch it up. It's going to still, you're going to make the rent, they're going to tear it up, make it worse. So we have to have that that understanding of the Spirit. Like you said, try the Spirit by the Spirit. Know who you're engaging with.
That's right.
The lost sheep are looking. Yahweh's going to send them to you.
Yes.
See, so you have to have that spirit of discernment. They're going to come to you asking questions. And then you should give that light should go off like, okay. And the Spirit will bring you and give you what you need to utter at that point.
But you know what, my deacon? Something happened to me many years ago. And, you know, this is like, if not it, pretty close. I was in the state of Virginia, and you know, I was ministering to the brother, and when I threw with everything, the brother looked at me. I mean, I've told this story many times, and he said, "Man, I know what you're saying is true. You understand? But I'm just going into the church just for money's sake. I don't need." So it's like he trampled on the word. I mean, it hurt me so bad. You know, I couldn't do anything else. I just have to learn from that experience. When you approach someone, try to, know about them, know what's going on. Try them to say they really, really need, the pearl, the holy things of Yahweh or not. Because he didn't need it. All he wanted to do is to use the word to make money. Nothing else. Yeah. So I see that as pretty much close to this scenario right here.
Right. That was a good example. That's a good example of comment. Sometimes you just got to get a man some money, then get something to eat. A lot of people on the word, they're panhandling. We see them and we want to give them, minister to them in form of the word. But their most immediate need may be clothing.
That's right.
It may be some food. It may mean you give them a couple of dollars, some money, help them find a room to stay in.
That's
if
right.
They really want something to get out the cold. And then take care of don't say be you fed, be you whole, be you full. Hey man, get the man something to eat. Correct. Get the woman something to eat. Yeah. Because that may be what they just need. Like you said, now if they want to if they give you an audience, you got it hurt, I can imagine. But they just told you at the end, hey, I'm trying to get some money.
That's all.
This is why I'm here. And that's fine, because maybe Yahweh, as you said, Deacon, Yahweh brought him to you for that purpose, for you to give it to him. Yeah. And you sowed a seed. You never know where that seed may went, though, you're right. Yeah. Let's be honest. Yeah. At that point, you might thought it fell on a shallow ground.
But you know what?
You don't never know. Let me finish now.
But
you never know what happened down the line. But go ahead. Not
to say it's money he won for me. He just want to be a pastor to make money.
Okay, well, you know what?
Sorry, I didn't extend that.
Okay, I follow what you're saying. But what we're saying is still relevant. Yeah. Right? What I said is still relevant. But going back to your point, well, that's what you call a profane man.
Yes.
See, that's a profane.
We bring it back to his remembrance one day. And he said, man, that brother told me.
That brother told me that.
It wasn't time yet for him to hear his words.
Maybe he repented from that.
Maybe.
Or maybe not. But again, what was the brother that went? They went there to Peter. They wanted to buy the Holy Ghost.
Oh,
you feel me?
Ananias.
Yeah, that's it. See, another example. I'm gonna buy it. What you got? He said, man, you know what happened. But the point is, you got to rebuke big time. But see, those are the things that you don't be surprised when you see people with that kind of spirit. But it still makes you, I know it shocked you.
Oh,
You
man,
spend time thinking you're breaking down the word. He's trying to find a way to make a hustle. I'm trying to get this, I'm trying to be a prosperity preacher.
Oh,
I
man.
don't want to hear what you say. That's too much anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I just need to know enough to where I can galvanize people with my word. I want to get enough money and buy me some good suits. So when I see the sisters and the brothers, they look at me and say, oh, he got to be a preacher. I got to go with him. But see, that's the thing. I want to be able, I hope we answer that question. Given that, which is holy. Oh, praise God. And praise God. That's all we're here to do. And thank you for raising the question. Thank you, Elder, and for responding and Obi to that, jumping on it. But that's why we're here. We're together. We don't say we know every. We jump to it immediately now. Y'all gotta give us a little understanding. But praise God, we're here to do this work. Yeah. But we were going back to Uriah had mentioned where in Leviticus 18, where the world is full of these things, breaking the law, living as it said that the iniquity, as we read, has abounded. Lawlessness is spread, right? And so the love of people is what? Wax cold. They got a cold heart. Yeah. Can't you see that, man? You can't even speak to people or say something to certain people these days. Yeah. Because you don't really know how they're going to respond. So you got to let the Spirit move you there as well.
That's right.
And it's sad because it's amongst lost sheep. It's amongst our own people. It's about, you got brothers in the Word. Love is wax cold among them.
Exactly.
It's not just out in the world.
Don't put it on them only, right?
Let's be real with it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's sad.
I've seen it. But hey, it's sad. But the book tells me don't hold a grudge against my brother.
Correct.
And it tells me, Yeshua tells me what? He magnifies it, tells us to forgive him. How many times I got to forgive that brother? 70 what?
7 times 70.
Come on now. So that means you got to be right.
No cap. He ain't even put a cap on it.
He ain't put no cap. No cap. You know what I mean?
No cap.
I'm about to tell old Captain here. Captain, we'll get that point out. Come on, Captain. But that's the thing. We have to be honest with ourselves. Yeah. And we talked about this last week, reflecting. Yeah. We got to reflect. Yahweh puts us in that spirit of repose. He gives us in a place where we can quiet down sometimes. So he got to take you out of certain things. So you can stop and be quiet. So you can listen.
That's right.
And know that he's Yahweh.
That's right.
Right? So that's all I can say. We look at this thing. So now, let's jump into Leviticus chapter 19. And we're still, again, these are the laws, the certain laws dealing with, of a holy people. We're looking, we have to walk righteously before Yahweh. So I'm going to turn it over to Elder Uriah.
We're in the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 1. Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 1. And Yahweh spake unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto all the congregation of the children of Israel, and say unto them, You shall be holy, for I, Yahweh your Elohim, am holy. You shall fear every man his mother and his father, and keep my Shabbats. I am Yahweh your Elohim. Verse 4. Turn you not unto idols, nor make to yourself molten gods. I am Yahweh your Elohim.
So go back to Constitution. Those are the general law, right? And what we're seeing here now are statutes.
That's right.
That expound, right?
Yeah.
So you go to Exodus 20, 1 and 2, right? That's that general statement. Yeah. Thou shalt not have any other God before me.
That's right.
Right? And thou shalt not make unto you any graven images, right?
Correct.
So you mark in your Bible, Exodus 20. I'm going to make a little note here again. Exodus 20, verses 1 and 2. Those are 2 and 3, right? But those are those commandments.
And go to 4.
Right. Dealing with those graven images.
Yeah.
Right? So just keep in mind, now you're seeing, now they're telling you molten. he's telling you these idols and molten images, right?
That's
so
right.
The statue is becoming more and more specific.
Yes.
Correct? That's all we're looking at, right? Go ahead, Elder. You're right.
Leviticus chapter 19, verse 5. And if you offer a sacrifice of peace offerings unto Yahweh, you shall offer it at your own will.
Okay, we went over peace offerings, right? But do it from your heart. You shouldn't be compelled to bring a peace offering before Yahweh. Like they got you in the churches giving all the tithe that they had you been doing. The man had you triple dollar, having given tithes for years and years and years. And now he's gotten a revelation after he's become rich off of other areas. Now that's not that's not right.
He should give back all those money, man.
He said throw out all the books.
Throw out those books you don't buy.
I'll tell you, make millions and millions of dollars.
Millions off those books.
Come on, man.
Right?
Hey.
So now you sit here looking, but you know what? You were trying to buy something from Yahweh. Why are you gonna buy something that's free? I give this. God's gonna do this for me. Well, what kind of man or woman are you anyway? See,
Christianity came out of Catholicism, Elder.
That's what it is.
Right, so
that's what it is.
They sold indulgences in Catholicism.
That's right.
I mean to interrupt you.
No, that's fine.
The thought came in. They sold them indulgences in Catholicism, so they don't learn the ways of their oppressors.
Exactly.
You know,
to take advantage of your people. They're naive, they're blind. And now you don't put a stumbling block in the presence of blind people. That's against the law, right?
Well, you know what?
Don't curse the deaf.
I have some friends that said, man, I have to go to school to study for these things. And I said, you're going to pay thousands and thousands of dollars for all this stuff? I said, man, I can teach you for free.
Oh, no. I want to be called the good reverend doctor with my theology degree. I say, no, brother, I got to get this money.
Oh, so you don't see the letters that behind your name. Come on,
Our
man.
people are not evil. They're not evil, but coming out, we do respect. Some of us still respect the learning. And we look to these ministers to deal with us in a good way. And they're honorable men and women, but they may not be honorable men and women. But we look at those their degrees, we look at the certification, things like that, and we think that they understand this book. That's why they defer to them. But they're like lost sheep.
We've been fooled, man, about school,
Right. You've been lost sheep, but now Yahweh is putting His word out. It's being taught. So now, if you keep on following the blind teachers, blind leaders of the blind,
you know where that's going to lead you.
the drop off,
Of course, my
the
elder.
ditch.
Verse 6. And it shall be eaten the same day you offered it, and on the morrow, and if aught remain until the third day, it shall be burned in the fire. And if it be eaten at all on the third day, it is abominable. It shall not be accepted. You understand that?
Yeah, it's talking about the trespass offering. It's still the same trespass offering. Free will offering. Sorry. So you read that we went back into the law. We went over those offerings. So he's just restating this. So now you should understand what the free will offering is, but it lays it out, right?
That's right.
We discussed all those offerings.
Verse 8. Therefore everyone that eateth it shall bear his iniquity, because he hath profaned the hallowed things of Yahweh, and that soul shall be cut off from among his people.
You see that? You profane, or what did we just talk about? Giving that which is holy unto the dogs.
That's right.
Right? And the pigs, swine.
That's right.
So when you look at what this is saying, you're not respecting that which was holy.
That's
You're
right.
supposed to eat it on the third day. Don't eat it on the third day. You throw it out. But if you consume it, now you have what? You got to bear your own sin because
That's
you
right.
have profaned that which was holy.
That's right, my elder. Verse 9. And when you reap the harvest of your land, thou shalt not wholly reap the corners of thy field, neither shalt thou gather the gleanings of thy harvest. And thou shalt not glean thy vineyard, neither shalt thou gather every grape of thy vineyard. Thou shalt leave them for the poor and stranger. I am Yahweh, your Elohim. You shall not steal, neither deal falsely, neither lie one to another.
Now we're going back to the commandments again, right?
That's
We
right.
can refer back to Exodus 20, right? Thou shalt not steal, nor bear false witness,
That's
right? Those are the commandments. Now this is a statute now.
That's right.
So you're giving a little bit more, tweaking it,
Yeah.
expanding it more. So we're not giving you a little bit more of a, a real life situation.
It is so important for us to read the entire Torah.
Amen.
Because everything is not in the same place. It's scattered all over.
Exactly.
And this is expand, in simple terms so we can understand better.
Yeah, a statute can be one line. There's nothing so exquisite about it.
Correct.
It just, this is what it is. And we went over those ordinances dealing with the sacrifice and everything. They're very detailed, correct? So praise God. Continue, my brother.
Verse 12. And you shall not swear by my name falsely, neither shalt thou profane the name of thy Elohim. I am Yahweh.
So, we go into the gospel where Yeshua magnifies that, and we can find that where he says, let your yea be yea. Don't swear. That's in Matthew 5 or 6 somewhere there. We can go back at some point, but he magnifies that. So let your yea be yea and your nay be nay.
That's right.
And don't swear by the temple. Don't swear by the gold in the temple. He goes into great detail. So, but we can find that later. We can go back. But let's continue.
Okay.
But let's make a note and let's go to that.
Verse 13. Thou shalt not defraud thy neighbor, neither rob him. The wages of him that is hired shall not abide with thee all night until the morning. That's where we have, what do they call it? What do they call those days? Labor, day work?
Day labor.
Day labor or whatever they call it. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But, man can change it because,
Pay you when they want to pay you now.
Yeah. Oh, man.
2 weeks later.
Right.
1 month. Yeah. Yeah. Verse 14. Thou shalt not curse the deaf,
There it is.
nor put a stumbling block before the blind, but shall fear thy Elohim. I am Yahweh.
And when you look at 14, it's not necessarily also meaning a little. We got to understand, look what Yahweh, through Yeshua, this is not a literal blindness. Yahweh talks about Israel being blind.
That's right.
Correct?
Correct.
And so therefore, it's not only physical, but it's a spiritual blindness. Our people in America have been blinded. Yahweh blinded us.
That's right.
He allowed us to be sold and put in places where we don't even know who we are. We don't know anything about our history. Only history you know about, mainland America, the island, South America, and any other place we've been scattered to. But when you start talking about what about before you got over here?
See,
Oh man, I'm hard pressed.
history is supposed to be synonymous with antiquity.
That's right. That's right.
Go back thousands of years.
Amen.
A couple hundred.
A couple hundred years, and you
That's our
stop.
history.
And then, and then they whitewashed it. So you look at, all these people were, they weren't even black, they were not Hamitic African, they just white, anybody but you. How about that?
It was Matthew 5:37.
Okay, Matthew 5:37. Could you go there, Uriah? And let's just read that, Uriah. Just a little bit of that, because that is, it follows about the, what is it, Matthew 5?
Yes, sir. Because there's no Hebrew word for maybe. See, you have
There
a
it
word for yes and a word for no. There is no Hebrew word for maybe. The
So-
English language is the only one that says, well, I might.
I might.
In most other languages, there is no word for that.
Okay.
If you study language,
Right.
there is no word for in between. It's either say yes, I'm going to do
Yes or no.
or no, I'm not going
We'll
to
be
do
done with it.
it. Yeah.
So, and going back to, so when you're looking at,
We are very creative, man.
so in Leviticus 19 verse 12, it says, and you shall not swear by my name falsely, neither shall thou profane the name of thy Elohim. I am Yahweh. So would you mind reading and starting Matthew 5 verse 31, Uriah?
Okay.
And so now we see Yeshua magnifying that.
Praise Him, man. Matthew chapter 5, verse 31. It hath been said, whosoever shall put away his wife, let him give her a writing of divorcement. But I say unto you, that whosoever shall put away his wife, saving for the cause of fornication, causeth her to commit adultery, and whosoever shall marry her that is divorce, committed adultery.
Oh man,
Mhm.
that's deep right there.
I'm
Pretty
telling you.
much shut America down. I'm sorry, but it's a lot of us. It's a trip, but that's just the way it is. America gets shut down based on that one.
You're right, man. Verse 33. Again, you have heard that it had been said by them of old time, thou shalt not forswear thyself, but shalt perform unto the Adonai thine oath. But I say unto you, swear not at all, neither by heaven, for it is Elohim's throne, nor by the earth, for it is his footstool, neither by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great king. Neither shalt thou swear by thy head, because thou canst not make one hair white or black.
You don't run that.
Verse 37. But let your communication be yea, yea, nay, nay, for whatsoever is more than these cometh evil of
Praise
evil.
God. So now we see an example of Yahshua magnifying what we just read in Leviticus of the law. Because he knows how he said it is old time. He's reflecting back to the law.
That's
Leviticus.
right. That's right.
In other places, right?
That's right.
In old time. So now he's speaking with that authority. But I say, right? Don't you do this at all. And there's some other places where we can continue to go about that, but there's some other places where he speaks. But this, I think that's critical.
That's right.
Thank you for finding that from the brother.
Let's go back to Leviticus chapter 19, verse 15. Leviticus chapter 19, verse 15.
Okay, this is some tough stuff here, though.
You shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. Thou shalt not respect the person of the poor, nor honor the person of the mighty, but in righteousness shalt thou judge thy neighbor.
Well, we always see how that goes. You know, and that seems something we have to deal with. That's a spiritual thing.
Yes, sir.
Because you may have more, and you look at somebody else, and they ain't got it. And I don't mean destitute. You just look at them. You're not as smart as me. You don't have the education I have. You don't have, how can you? That's why they got on the Mashiach.
Right.
This man ain't been learned.
Right.
Who taught you?
Right.
But I heard what you have to say, man. But I have to go back to the system of this government, the way America run things. I mean, as a poor person, you try to apply for a loan, you will get the highest percentage. But if you are rich, come on, you maybe get 1% or 0 or 0.5.
Right.
It is so unfair in judgment, man.
Well, but this is why we had the law, because our father did the same thing.
See.
When you're in your own land, you took advantage of it. So now you're in America, they put it on you now. And you got to take it. Because you don't even want to do your brother right. So now you got a stranger don't care anything about you. If you want the loan or you don't.
Right.
Do you want it?
Sign all this eggs.
Get out of here. Throw out. And I had to do that because, when we look at this, you're so right. It is an unfair situation. Particularly, they use everything. The color of your skin.
Oh, man.
Not just your poor, but you're black. And even if you're black, you go in there with I'm going to tell you how deep it is. The studies have proven it. You can go in there with a 730 credit score with a job and find yourself paying higher interest. Wow. They do it all the time. And they take advantage of people. And then the next man go in there paying, like you said, 0%. See, the religion of America is white supremacy.
That's right.
And racism. See, that's the number one thing.
That's right.
In this country. So now, you said that, but guess what? You may have somebody go in there with less education, less capital, everything less than you. But guess what? He got some capital you can't get.
Oh, man.
Melanated man. He got some demelanated advantages. Right? So this place is worse than the antiquity.
Oh, man.
But they looking at you based on how you look. Isn't that deep? Now it's sad. Man. But what you gonna do? You go to the other nations in America or abroad. They treat the African people who are African, they get treated worse outside of their border. Matter of fact, what is it? The the different economic, the World Bank, etc.
Yeah.
They have kept the continent of Africa broke.
Of course.
What is their policy? I had sent you a video on that. They said their policy is to rob the resources of that land. And they said by whatever means. We need to kill off the people, basically, they said, so we can get the resources. There's too many of them over there. We got to get rid of them.
Exactly.
This is the policy that all the countries have inflicted since
Look at Congo.
1600s.
Look at the Congo. They kept it. They've been stealing there since the Belgians.
See?
And they got so much stuff there. And like you said, make it a no man's land. Keep them fighting, confused.
You had the bush out there chopping the hands off.
Oh man,
See?
you can just go in there now and just they call the Europeans just had a whole bunch of different stuff, just hauling out, just driving out of the country with it. Now where can you go like that? But see, that just shows you that the policies, like you said, are limited. And if an African nation wants to get a loan, particularly a black nation, not Arabic, well, guess what? Your loan going to get higher interest, right? Like going back to your thesis, not just America, they got this thing on lock.
Yeah.
So you can look at your countries.
But you know what, my elder?
But it's unfair, but let's take it to another level.
All these things happen to us. You know, look back in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28. Our forefathers disobeyed righteousness. Let me say righteousness. Because that what Yahweh was given to them. Man, as a nation gonna look and say, what nation is this so righteous? Before they didn't want that. They need something else.
Well, and when you look at it today, those of us who know these things, that don't mean you sit around, don't do nothing, get off your butt. That don't mean you say, well, Yahweh don't put me in a situation. It's a curse.
Look at what this says, Elder. Right? This is in that book, Tribute for the Negro. I'm sorry. It's deep that you said that because it reflected back to this. And it says that the slave finds in his condition little nutriment for the social virtues we easily shall understand. If we consider that his chief relations are to be an absolute master and the companions of his degrading bondage, that is to be beings who wrong him, and to associates whom he cannot honor, whom he sees debased. The slave's dependence on his owner loosens his own ties to all other beings. He has no country to love, no family to call his own, no objects of public utility to espouse, no impulse to generous exertion. The relations, dependencies, responsibilities by which province forms the soul to a deep, interested love are almost struck out of his lot. An arbitrary rule, a foreign, irresistible will, taking him out of his own hands and placing him beyond the natural influence of society, extinguishes in a great degree the sense of what is due to himself and the human family around him. The effects of slavery on the character are so various by this part of the discussion, it might be greatly extended, but I will only touch on one other topic.
Yeah. See, it's showing you the dehumanizing
Correct.
A man
Correct.
and a woman to the point where, and that goes back to that Willie Lynch writing, you only have loyalty and honor and fidelity to him, to master his children.
Right.
That's right.
It's a psychological warfare.
It's a psychological. I read a book years ago, a small book, but it's called Breaking the Psychological Chains of Slavery by Naeem Akbar. And a brother, he taught down at I don't know if he's still alive or not, but he's a professor at Florida A&M University. See, psychological. Yahweh has put us in a place in order for those curses to be manifested from generation to generation. It had to be, because you would have been free. You would not, you'll be like other nations. You might have been a slave, but you still know who you are.
Yeah.
And you still know your soul, like you said, tearing your soul.
Yeah.
And as Louis Farrakhan said, take a person and turn him inside out, and then give him a false God on top of that. Here you go. And worship God, worship me. Your God is me. Ain't that something?
Yes, sir.
And that's what most of our people have been in. And they're in it now. And only through grace of Yahweh that he's, woke us up.
Yes,
but there's information. Once you find out, Yahweh put that spirit in you to learn, and when you get to see, we got a lot of books up here, different things we talk about. We different topics, not just, but the key thing is Yahweh blessed us to get into this book.
Right.
So now we can see the words are true because we can compare it to what has happened in our daily lives, our family lives, the lives of our people, and the lives of other nations, and in relation to the people who've enslaved us, to show you what kind of spirit they still got on them from their ancestors to their fathers. They've inherited this. And like you said, we are put in a position of envy.
That's right.
So, man, I can't even get a loan. Like you said, I want to get a loan. I got a good idea. Get me out the hole. We can't give you we can't loan you $1,000. I got a job, but we can't do it.
Just can't do it.
Ain't that something? We just can't do it.
You're either not wearing the right suit.
Well, think about it. And not to belay the point, think about it. Why would they give the as you said, the policy is to make sure Black Americans particularly don't have wealth, cannot build wealth. So why do you think you're going to come to my bank, our banking facilities, and ask us to give you a loan for something that's going to help you generate and build wealth for yourself and your family? It might be a great business idea, but we're just not going to contribute to that.
No, I'm sorry.
I'd rather give the money to a person that come here and lose $20 million, give him $20 million, he lose it, file bankruptcy, or just lose it, But I can't see myself fit. So no, it is unfair, Uriah, and I want to make sure I lay right now. Yeah, I agree with you. You go to the bank, and now most of us can get loans. Now, I'm not saying you can't get a loan, but the point about if you're a poor man, just a little something to get you moving. It might be very difficult. Because you're gonna need more. Well, you go to your credit union, we'll give you $1,000 on a signature loan, maybe.
Oh,
That's
man.
Hey, continue, my brother. Good point.
Verse 16, we're in the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 16. Thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer among thy people, neither shalt thou stand against the blood of thy neighbor. I am Yahweh. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him.
Okay. This is where we see Yahshua magnifies this. It's against the law for you to to hate your brother in thy heart, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Thou shalt not in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer a sin upon him. Well, we can see that, like you said earlier, this applies to Hebrew, Black, all of us. We got a problem with that stumbling block called love. We mentioned it earlier.
Oh, man.
When we started the class, when we were reading the Shema.
Yep.
Went up in Matthew 22. Love your brother, love your neighbor like yourself, right? Well, we said love is that problem.
Right.
So if you got love, why would Yahweh know what kind of people we're dealing with?
Because they don't know what is love.
Right. That's why you wrote it down. Don't hate him. I hate that joke. You know what he said? I hate that end. Why do you hate him so, man?
Man,
You found out he ain't about really too much of nothing you hate him for.
You know what? I'm sorry, but I have to bring up this, man, and to realize where
Somebody tell you they're sorry before you bring it up. They're not really sorry. They're just gonna bring it up.
Anyway, they're just gonna bring it up anyway, man.
What do you bring
You
up?
got some brother because you're coming from maybe it's a community or from an associate with certain, building or members or whatever. And if you should, have a disagreement, you see what I'm saying? And you said, you know what? I'm leaving. I can't be here anymore.
Right.
I mean, if you pick up the phone or call those brothers, they're not answering you.
Well, okay.
They just discommunicate with you. Like you have this hatred in your heart. I mean, that's hurt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I know they're still my brother. Oh, can I hate them? When the word is saying, don't hate your neighbor, don't hate your brother. Oh, can I hate them?
So how do you deal with that, Elder?
They're gonna throw it back at me. I looked at you. I just looked at you. I just looked over at him.
Hey, yeah, don't eat the captain. I mean, you know, I look at it. You know, I look at it. You know, I mean, I sometimes answer my own questions.
Right, but
because
understand.
I just don't associate with them.
Right.
But in case if I run into them, I will say, you know, hi, hello, how you doing, or whatever. I give you a high five. But if you don't, when I know that you don't want to associate with me, so I keep myself away from you. But even though I know that is wrong. What have I done to you? I've done anything wrong to you? If I disagree with you with something, is that something I've done wrong to you?
Because I tell you the truth, does that make me your enemy?
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, apparently. Yeah, we're enemies, man. I don't say the truth.
Come on, man.
I haven't been down, like you said, I wasn't running down the street as a talebearer, lying about you, bearing false witness against you. So what's the issue? So you got a good point. And I agree with that. We have to, these are the things about maturity in the word.
Yeah.
See, sometimes people are, that those type of brothers are not really mature.
They're still a kid.
They need milk. They gotta drink milk.
You have to give them some milk.
Right. Give them a cup of
They're
milk.
still a child.
They can't eat no meat. Because at some point you got to move beyond that. You have to be like the Mashiach.
That's right.
When his disciples, one of the disciples, I don't think they indicate the name of him, but he ran up, I'm envisioning it, he runs up to the Mashiach and says, Master, they baptized it in your name. I think they baptized him, right?
Yeah.
They baptized it in your name, Master.
They ain't with us.
They ain't with us. He said, look, Christ said it best. If they're not against us, they're for us, right?
Right.
Leave them alone. They're not doing anything to you. Right. If I said anything about you, if I said anything about anything, see, that's when you look at it. So what's your problem? I'm growing. We're going to have to grow.
Yeah.
You got to graduate from the milk.
Yeah, praise God.
And if we're in a place where we're just drinking milk all day, so we need to get some meat. I'm stuck. I'm going to be stuck.
You're stuck at one level, man.
But you can't see the spiritual things.
That's right.
You want to see, and I don't care if you can quote this book to left and right.
From cover to cover.
But if you ain't got love,
Probably nothing.
you can lay your body to be sacrificed and burnt. But without love, I didn't write that. Paul wrote all that, right?
That's right.
So what's the point? You ain't got no love. Yeah, you're Hebrew. Yeah, you are of the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Yes, we have that heritage. But that's not enough. That's why they had the heritage when they were in the land. You just getting a little bit of something. So what do? We have to be honest. You're right, brother. You're right. I'm glad you brought it up. Because you're right. We can't be playing games. You're right. You're right.
Come on, man. We are men. We are men.
Grow up. You know? Now, if I did something wrong to you,
and I don't know aware of it, come to me and let me know.
Talk to me about it. But
I can apologize to you,
right?
Or something.
But like you said, but your friend would be the one to a real now. You ain't. I haven't been done nothing wrong unto blood or any problem. But like you said, Yahweh tell me to do something. Well, I'm going to ought to do what Yahweh say do.
That's right.
Not what you do.
Not about you.
We discussed that in the scripture a while ago when the lion prophet, the brother was given Yahweh told him a charge to do a certain thing. He even repeated that charge to the king. Hey, I'm not to eat or drink anything here. And when I leave, I was told not to go back the same way I came. And then the lion prophet got hold to him, right? We read that in detail. We went over it. They said, Yahweh lied. Yahweh told me, I'm a prophet too. And Yahweh told me, you should come to my house. But if Yahweh ain't told, so we know what happened is be obedient.
Yeah.
And we, as Peter said, we ought to obey Yahweh and not men. So if Yahweh's giving me a spirit or unction to do something, that's for me to do. Now, if you offended based upon that, well, stay offended. I'm gonna do what Yahweh say do. You follow me? But I have nothing against you, anybody else. But if I got a problem with you, I'm gonna be a man to come tell you with it. I'm gonna tell you, hey, you offended me with X and X, or you should come to me with X and X. But if it's none of that, if I hadn't offended you, well, maybe we weren't friends in the beginning. Maybe we really weren't friends. Maybe you really were not my brother, and maybe you was just running game, playing a role, right? Yeah. What about that? That could be what it is.
Yeah.
And Yahweh just separates you from that. That's not your brother. Watch what he do. You're my brother when you want something from me.
Correct.
I'm your best friend when you need me. I'm your boy. But as soon as you get on your feet, see, we can do this all day long. We can discuss these things within the word or just within people in general. People will show you something.
Correct.
And so,
Learn.
you learn. And that don't mean you stop doing good to others.
No.
But you learn a little something. They'll be a little bit more wiser.
Correct.
What you
That's
said, be wise as a serpent.
Yeah.
That's right.
Right? Old folks, you tell us down south, feed them from a long handle spoon. Here you go. I'm going to feed you. But here you go. I'm scratching way out here. Here you go, Uriah. Right?
You don't want to catch your symptoms, man.
No, just give them, feed them with a long handle spoon.
Yeah.
It means you just keep your distance. That's what it means.
Yeah, I know.
You know, you doing certain things. You know, the book says these old things that people just talk about. You know, don't let your left hand know what your right hand do.
That's right.
So, things like that. You know, our people did this. A king did that. What was it? Hezekiah? Was it Hezekiah? He showed the Babylonians everything.
What did the prophet say? What you show?
I showed them everything.
Yeah.
He said, "What the hell?"
They do a lot of MTV cribs and
See that?
we do that. Show them, look at this one. I got all my shoes in here.
Yeah, shoes here, car.
Come rob you.
I got a flight. Yeah, come rob you, or the IRS agent watching.
Okay.
Hey, such and
Make
such.
notes.
Yeah. Hold on. What's his name? What's that rapper name? Such and such. Pull him up. Oh, he owe $20 million. He got. Oh yeah, let's go over there. Let's get this one out. That's an easy one here. Let's get it.
Let's get the paperwork.
Yeah, let's get at it.
Yeah.
Let's get at him. And plus, we're gonna see. We're gonna put you in jail too. We want some jail time once we get
As soon as we go in there, you know we gotta have a paragraph.
Hey, don't remember the interest.
Oh yeah.
All
Yeah,
those back interests.
That's Wesley Snipes, the entertainer. They put him in jail. Get the money and go to jail.
Oh, we're gonna give you this stuff. Oh,
So-
no. We can take it. Don't worry
So
about it.
that's the beauty of looking at these
Yeah.
things. When we're, you brought it up, but you can't be holding a grudge. Yahshua says you're supposed to forgive your brother 70 times 7. How many times gotta forgive him? But that don't mean, just like you said, I forgive you. But that don't mean I'm gonna run up around you. See, because you shown me something.
Yeah.
Right? So I make in certain disputes, that's one thing. Friends have real friends. We all have disagreements.
Yeah.
But when somebody has projected themselves in such a way, you have to use wisdom then. Yeah, I'll forgive. I got no grudge against them. But I don't know if I can hang out over there with you no more. Because I don't feel comfortable when you show me a certain rage or a certain, you know what I mean?
Attribute or whatever, man.
But when you haven't done anything to nobody, why are you angry at me? I haven't done anything to you. But like you said, I tell you the truth. So now we're enemies.
Spiritual
That's
warfare.
It's spiritual warfare either way.
Never stop, man. Never
It still
stop.
goes back and says that it's not flesh and blood that you wrestle with.
That's the spirit. You said it
But it's a spirit
last time.
So you have to try the spirit.
By the Spirit.
By the spirit. It's not the brother, it's the spirit behind them. They yield themselves over to that spirit. They don't even want to look at themselves. I'm gonna just do what the spirit tell me. The spirit might tell me to slap. He just pow! He gonna slap before they don't even challenge the spirit. I'm gonna do something to you.
Yeah. All right, man. We're in the book of Leviticus chapter 19, verse 18. Verse 18. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am Yahweh.
Let it go. Don't hold no grudge. Let it go.
Let it go.
Move on.
Verse 19. You shall keep my statutes. Thou shalt not let thy cattle gender with a diverse kind. Thou shalt not sow thy field with mingled seed. Neither shall a garment mingled of linen and woolen come upon thee. And whosoever lieth carnally with a woman that is a bondmaid, betrothed to an husband, and not at all redeemed, for freedom given her, she shall be scourged. They shall not be put to death, because she was not free.
Yeah, she was a slave woman. He's a slave. She was an indentured servant or a slave.
That's correct.
To him, and they were engaged.
That's right.
To him married, but somebody else but that another man slept with her, right? So she's supposed to be whipped. She's supposed to be scourged. What's the scourging? A whipping, correct?
Yeah.
All right.
Verse 21. And he shall bring a trespass offering unto Yahweh, unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, even a ram for a trespass offering.
Why? Why you got to bring a trespass off? The woman's been scourged, whipped, and so he has to bring a trespass off. Why is that?
He still had a sin that took place.
Right. What was the sin? What did he do? Right. What did he do? He slept with that woman that was not his.
Correct.
That's right.
He slept with another man's property, for lack of a better word. So it's a trespass offering required, right?
That's right.
You know, that sounds, it's antiquated. I know some people take that and run with, well, you my property today. You know, you're in the 21st century. You're not living 3,000 years ago. She's not your property in that mindset. Yahweh has allowed civilization to evolve. So there's some things, sometimes we get caught up.
That's when we stop in one, in the first gear. I don't want to go into second gear.
Right. You're not living in the Bible. You're not living in this era. This is different. But the law is speaking about, even though she's seen as a property given unto him, etc. Yes, we can understand that. So another man has slept with her, right? So you have violated the other man in some way. You know, they're not going to kill you for doing it because it's not his wife. She's not a free woman. But you sinned. You've broken the law.
Correct.
So you got to bring that trespass offering.
Yeah.
That's what we're at right now.
Yeah, she's not bound to that man.
Right.
Yeah. Verse 22. And the priest shall make an atonement for him with the ram of the trespass offering before Yahweh for his sin which he had done, and the sin which he had done shall be forgiven him. And when you shall come into the land, and shall have planted all manner of trees for food, then you shall count the fruit thereof as uncircumcised. 3 years shall it be as uncircumcised unto you, it shall not be eaten of. But in the 4th year all the fruit thereof shall be holy, to praise Yahweh withal. Verse 25. And in the 5th year shall you eat of the fruit thereof, that it may be yield unto you the increase thereof. I am Yahweh your Elohim.
So they lay that, how the land should be treated.
That's right.
Now you're going into the, again, they're getting ready to go into the promised land. They preparing, these are the laws, the ways of a holy people living in the holy land. You can't come in there unholy and think you're going to live that way in the holy land, because the land is going to what? Spew you out.
That's right.
Like they did the other inhabitants.
That's right.
So he's telling you, when you plant new trees and things like that, you don't deal with that until the 5th year, right? Then you can do it. Why is Yahweh so meticulous? Man, he's got all these laws. You follow every law in the United States, and you don't even know, you can't articulate one of them, but you know you obey them without even consciously knowing it. But you can't keep Yahweh's law. Come on, let's be fair.
There's something wrong with
God doesn't have a law. Yahweh ain't got nothing. He's just Jesus. You said I use the name. He picked it up. Well, usually it's not the boogeyman. Yeah, Jesus freed me from the law. Well, maybe so, but Yahshua ain't him.
Correct.
That's right.
That's not Yahshua.
Correct.
The Hebrew, the Judite.
That's right.
He came to fulfill the law. Think not that I've come to destroy the law, right? I've come to fulfill. And we always use this little cup analogy. It's a full cup. And that's what Yahshua did. The law was already good, halfway full. Show me your cup. That's halfway full with the law, right?
That's right.
The law. It had its purpose. But it wasn't righteous. The people you need to have the Mashiach come to fill it up, to make it righteous with the Spirit, the things he's going to do to redeem you. So now we got a full cup.
That's right.
It's not that but now you're thinking that it's empty. And there's not, well, it'll be chaos in the world, right? That's not the Elohim of this book. You got law everywhere in it, so you know somebody's lying.
That's right.
Verse 26. You shall not eat anything with the blood, neither shall you use enchantment nor observe time.
See there? Going back to Leviticus 17, reinstating that again. It's very important. And don't be involved in any witchcraft.
That's right. Verse 27. You shall not round the corners of your head, neither shalt thou mar the corners of thy beard.
Captain, I got a question for you.
No, I can't.
I want you to talk about this. Explain this to me.
I can't do that one.
What
You have to handle that one.
No, Captain. I'm going to come to you, sir, my elder. Can somebody talk about this? Because, you know, it's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not, I don't know everything. So I'm still trying to
No,
figure
I
out.
need help me with this one, old man.
So why you say
because I know the elders is looking at me.
He said ask your elders, so I'm like, my elders.
Oh, yes,
You're going to pass the buck.
we're kicking it on now.
I mean, Yahweh has said, you know, several things for, you know, instruction for, you know, for us to follow as Hebrew Israelite. And when it comes the way we grow our beard, you know, not to corner, not to shave, you know,
Not the edge of the side.
not the edge of the side.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, not the edge of the side, but what you have to
Well,
look
I gotta do this. I gotta do like this.
at.
The rest of the class, discussion. Yeah, how y'all doing? Shalom.
No, but you have to look at it now. We're not really living in our land now, you know, and the way we present, the job that we do sometimes requires us to, you know, to dress a certain
But
way.
it's still the law, though.
I know it's still the law,
Let's-
but you see, that's what I said. You know, you have to look on the way the things of the law. You understand? There's mercy.
Okay.
You understand, and everything else. You can't judge the next person. Plus, where is the you know, what to say, the judgment for this?
Okay.
Yeah,
But
and not because, you know, the judgment is not written.
okay.
You know, you're still disobeying, but it's not about you have to ask Yahweh for mercy.
Well, but you know, when we go back to Matthew 5, verse 17, now that's what I want to focus on. That just look at that again in Matthew 5, beginning at verse 17, where he talks about. He says in verse 17 it reads, "Think not that I have come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
That's right.
For verily, verily, I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, but the earth is still out here, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law.
That's
shall
right.
all be fulfilled." So he has not come back to fulfill everything. So we know all has not been fulfilled.
That's right.
19, here it is. "Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven." So what I see here, now we could look at this, the building, the mar and the corners of the beard. We could say that could fall in the category of one of the least commandments, right?
Yeah.
But we're not teaching you not to do this,
Yeah.
right? If you do it, that's fine. But going back to what you said again, is there are certain things in Matthew 23, verse 23, I believe, the weightier matters of the law.
That's
I
right.
believe it says, as we are there, read, is it woe, Matthew 23, verse 23, "Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you pay tithe of mint and anise and cumin, and have omitted the weightier matters of the law, judgment, mercy, and faith. These ought you to have done, and not leave the other undone." So I can agree with you. So we can go to the book and look at it. See, and these are the things that we're talking about. Uriah gave the answer off the top. You know, but I wanted to go ahead and jump in there to show that there are certain things that not as thou shalt not kill. It's not on the same level as shaving, marring, not to mar your beard, because life is greater, right? Than that. So we can say that's the least commandment. Not saying you don't have to do it, but again, there are some more things that are more weightier that you should be more about, should be more concerned with, per se. Because you don't know what your job. We're in captivity now, and and these are just. I just threw that out there.
All right. So they had we had an example in the script with David's man.
There it is.
They had went out to the king, and the king thought to deal with them. Thought that they were coming. His servant basically made him or deceived him into thinking that he was sending them subtly.
Right.
So he shaved off their garments at their buttocks.
Right.
And shaved their beards off. And then he told them, but what did David tell him? He said, man, just tarry down there in Jericho till your beards
come back and come back.
I mean, it wasn't
a sin unto death.
You know, they weren't, yeah.
Well, that's a cultural thing, you know. So right now we have lost a lot of that cultural aspects upon our people, and we're going to go when you get to the next verse or so, you're going to see something different.
Before we go to the next, I want to read a little thing in 1 John chapter 5. See, you know, certain Hebrew, so-called Hebrew out there, they want to crucify you for certain things.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm just going to get straight to the point. Verse 16.
1 John 5, verse 16?
Yeah.
Okay.
He said, if a man see his brother sin a sin which is not unto death, he shall ask him, and he shall give him life. For them that sin not unto death. So what I'm getting at, there's certain sin that are not unto death.
Right.
Because it's not listed here. So a brother, if you say it's not the judgment.
Well, read the rest of that. You stop. I don't want you to just stop.
Yeah.
If you don't mind.
There is a sin unto death. I do not say that he shall pray for it.
But you praying for somebody who's a murderer.
I know you don't pray for a murderer because you know the judgment for murder.
Right. He's got his judgment is murder, but the point is that's an intentional sin. We're in 1 John chapter 5.
I mean, you're so right, my elder. You know, and looking at it, and if you look back, if Yahweh, do not impute that sin unto you, what you gonna say? Oh, Yahweh, that man should die?
Well, the Mashiach said it best. It's the least of these commandments. We're teaching you to keep these commandments, to do these things. We're not telling you to find a way out of it. You follow me? But it's just the law. But don't get so dogmatic.
That's right.
I think that's the catch. Because even with this, Yahweh will have mercy on you. Yeah. Don't get so dogmatic, but you're the same person. Jealous, violent, don't share. You're doing the things that are in your heart. You hate your brother in your heart.
Forsake the way of your matters.
Yeah, you're forsaking the way of the matters of the law.
But Elder, in the strong Hebrew concordance, the word mar, it has now these translators put in these words, like my elder always say, with language, so that has confused things as well.
Yeah, that's okay, good point.
So the Hebrew word.
Make sure you hear you good.
Yeah, Elder, I'm sorry. The Hebrew word is shakat. Is that right, Elder? SHACHATH. If I'm pronouncing that correctly.
It doesn't matter.
Or shakath.
Shakath.
It means to decay, batter, cast off, corrupt, destroy, loose, perish, spill, spoiler, utterly waste. So we got to put that in perspective too.
What does that mean?
I mean, so the translator put that word, but the Hebrew word now it has a slight different meaning. I mean, it means to disfigure and to destroy.
Right.
But I mean,
we
still have to put that in perspective.
Well, let's ride with 28 and see if it those are linked together.
Well, I don't know if they're linked together, but let's continue to read though. Yeah, but those are different.
Those are linked together.
On the next part. Oh, I thought what you're saying.
Yeah, because certain things can happen when you perform certain things.
Okay.
We're in the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 28. You shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am Yahweh.
Now, the latter part of that, we know our people now are tattooed from head to toe now in the last 20 years. They have seen, it started off with the Gentiles doing their own thing, the bikers, and you might see, you go into these clubs, there was a Gentile girls had them things on them. But now every woman just about you run up on is tattooed up. And now they don't got old. I can look at them and say, what does that represent? What is that? Well, that was my youth and my foolishness in my youth. But that's against, because that's supposed to be the tabernacle of Yahweh. You're a saint. That's not the, and I'm reading this in the context now, the ways of a holy people. Now, but we know Yahweh put us over here. And what did he say? I was wroth with my people, and I defiled my inheritance. And that's in Isaiah 47. So he's allowed you to be defiled. He put you into the hands of these heathens.
And so he had to write
So
these
now,
things.
yeah.
Yeah, he wrote them back then.
Right.
Sorry.
Thousands of years ago.
Thousands, because it says they were doing these things for the ancient times.
Exactly. They were just, don't go into the land and do what they're doing. They're putting carbon. You see, many Africans and certain nationalities of people in certain parts of Africa, they still carve. They put the carvings in their flesh. So now, when you were trying to connect the rounding of the, so what the definition you read, so you're saying could that be connected with 28?
No, I'm just saying.
Not an edge up, but
to reach it,
you carve.
Yeah.
You cut yourself in a way.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I maybe have to do some more research on that one.
Well, I don't think, yeah, I mean, that's something we all, so we're going to make a note. Your wise going to do some research and hold you to it. Okay? That's all we want to make. We're on the record. Thank you.
He said the earliest evidence of tattoo art comes from the form of clay figurines that had their faces painted or engraved to represent tattoo marks. Some of the oldest figures of this kind have been recovered from tombs in Japan dating back to 5000 BCE. And
they're big into that. The Japanese are really big into that.
Yeah.
I've seen them and they have and that's their culture.
Yeah.
But they're not the holy people of Israel. They're not the holy people of Yahweh.
That's
so
right.
I'm not going to judge them because they were never given this law. Israel was given the law.
Right.
So now that Yahweh's brought us out of this darkness and waking us up, you say, well, I have a tattoo. What does that mean? Well, it doesn't mean you have a sin unto death, but you can ask Yahweh to forgive you because you got washed up in the blood now.
That's right.
So you got mercy. So that's a different thing. It's mercy. Correct. You feel me? It doesn't tell you to that you can't be seen anywhere because everybody's been in this land. Everybody's been defiled. Everybody's been caught up with different things.
That's right.
We've been exposed to these things. But now we're learning the ways of a holy people.
That's right.
Yeah.
Verse 29, Leviticus chapter 19, verse 29. Do not persecute thy daughter to cause her to be a whore, lest the land falls to whoredom and the land become full of wickedness.
That's deep. But that's what they were doing, right?
That's right.
And it's sad that spirit of whoredom is deep in America. The spirit of these are things out here. People might get mad, but we look at them and say, well, it's homosexuality, these different spirits, these different things, and we look at them from a spiritual connotation because we're not struggling against flesh and blood, but against what? Principalities and powers in high places. So we're not struggling against the flesh, right? To cause you to put you in a situation. Elder Deacon, will you just tell us about, you sent me a video of a little boy. It's not necessarily on point to verse 29, but you sent me a version of the video, and the little boy was talking to his mother about something. Could you just give us a summary, just kind of tell us about that? So they probably see it themselves, but just kind of, just what was the dialogue with the little boys and their mother?
Yeah, Maisha had sent me a video, and basically the young boy, I don't know what his age, maybe 7, 8, he's correcting his mother.
Okay.
And the mother's 23, she's young, and pretty much she was wearing some short shorts.
Right. And
she's at the bus stop coming to pick him up.
Correct.
And he was basically crying out to his mother, Elder, saying, "Ma, why you out here in these little shorts?" He was like, my friends, they looking at you like they your boyfriend. And it's bothering me, Ma. Why you don't come outside like that no more, basically. He was like, you don't come out, and he's pouring his heart out to her, but he's rebuking her. And she's like, "Boy, who do you think you are? You my daddy, or who you?" He was like, "Yeah." He was like, "No, I'm not, but yeah, I am." Like, he's like, "Mom, you gotta stop." And he's pleading out to her, and she was like, and the other son jumped in, and he was like, "Yeah, Mom, you gotta stop. Them boys, they be talking about you, and my friends, they saying this, they talking about you like you were."
Right.
You know, and he had enough discernment to see that, man, this is wrong. And she basically was like, y'all are ganging up on me. And then after a while, she was like, all right, I hear y'all. And whether or not she corrected it, I don't know. But she, you know, it was sad. It was sad, man.
Mm-hmm.
It shows you a lack
Out of the mouth of babes.
Out of the mouth of babes.
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah. That's the term you used when he sent me the clip. And that's powerful. Because when she said she was 3? So that let me know she had these children when she was young. And it goes all the way back to her upbringing. Right?
Yeah.
And even if you didn't get the upbringing, some kind of way maybe you should have figured out. When you out here raising little boys, women, you got boys. That's just a fundamental thing. And you out here dressing a certain kind of way. When they get to it, that little boy understands certain things. My mother shouldn't be showing her body off in this way, in my presence. You're making it hard for me. And I don't want, I'm going to defend, I'm going to defend your, I am the boss of you. Basically, because he's a man, he's a boy. He's not going to, but see, that's what I'm saying. When you can't expect to have good black men when they're coming out of these type of environments. And the home is messed up. The man is not there. That's the first thing you and I talk about. There's no father. There's no covering in the home.
That's right.
And the enemy.
That is gone.
Exactly. And the enemy has used his wiles of deception, trickery, and stratagems to lead our people to do what he wants them to do by removing themselves out of family units.
That's right.
Totally. That's the wiles of the devil. That you've been destroyed. You destroy your family. You destroy your legacy, brother. You out here doing wickedness and planting your seed, but then you don't understand. You destroying yourself. You cutting your own seed off.
That's right.
Because you don't even want to. You don't care what you do. See, somebody got to say something about it. And now you got the sister by herself. She's not a man. And where dad at? And it could be all kind of reasons for why dad ain't around. But we know it's becoming, to a number of our people, a way of life. And that struck a chord with me when you showed me that. So now you're looking at this verse 29. It was the boys that said, now how do the girls, now if she had girls, they're going to be patting themselves after you.
That's right.
And they're going to know when I get to a certain age, I'm going to put some booty shorts on too.
That's right.
And how are you going to stop her when she's been watching you all her developmental life? See, now you're going to kind of say something to her when she gets to that certain age. And guess what? She's going to rebel against you because you have been a hypocrite in her presence. Sons are going to rebel against you because you've been a hypocrite in their presence. You're a daddy. Now you want to come around when the man darn near grown, if you do it all. But daddy, you wasn't here when I was here, when I needed you.
Yeah.
Yep.
You see, we got too much stuff going on. See, this is what we have to do. We have to repent. The only way we can get together, non-profit organizations and helping, yeah, you do your best, but that's not going to cure the problem. We're going to have to come to a point, I don't know how it's going to come there, but Yahweh's going to get the glory out of it, right?
One way
So,
we have to get back to the ways of the holy people.
We got to get back to the ways of the holy people.
That's right.
And so, but I'll turn it back over to you, Elder Uriah. But that just stood in my mind, and thank you for sending me that video.
Leviticus chapter 19, verse
20.
30.
Oh, sorry, go ahead, brother.
Verse 30. You shall keep my Shabbats and reverence my sanctuary. I am Yahweh. Regard not them that have familiar spirits, neither seek after wizards to be defiled by them. I am Yahweh, your Elohim. Thou shalt rise up before the hoary head, and honor the face of the old man, and fear thy Elohim. I am Yahweh. And if a stranger sojourn with thee in your land, you shall not vex him. But the stranger that dwelleth with you shall be unto you as one born among you. And thou shalt love him as thyself, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt. I am Yahweh, your Elohim.
So we know America, yeah, we were their slaves. We were the slaves to these Gentiles. And that even after once they emancipated us or freed us, did they have one law? No. They continue to afflict the children of Israel. They got two laws to this day in its application.
That's right.
Yep.
But Israel said, Yahweh, he told his people, hey, you remember, you were strangers in Egypt. Remember, you came there They treated you right when you first came there. They gave you the best of the land.
But I mean, you see that this law, I think this law stays within our people in a sense, because we're so merciful and compassionate to all of them, because we understand how it feels to be on the bottom and to be treated. So we always sympathize with all the other nations that will say, man, you know, it's not right how we do, because we know how it feels.
See,
that law is.
I agree, bro. Praise y'all for that. Praise y'all for that.
It seems like they take our kindness for weakness.
They do. They do. And you're so right. We look at the different immigrants that have come here among us, and we know the game, but we didn't. But when I was a young man, we thought, hey, why are you treating those people like? Why are you treating the immigrant? Why are you treating this like Latino guy like this? Like he ain't nothing. How you see certain things? We speak up. Mm-hmm. We knew.
You know, right is right.
Right is right. Yeah. But now they've gotten on their feet. Yep. They got a stronghold, and now they've aligned themselves with the Europeans. They want to be called white. So that's okay, but we got Elohim. But I think you're right. That spirit, we're not an evil people at heart.
That's right.
I'm not going to sit here and say we're evil and we're so whatever. If that's the case, then we might well close the book up. You ain't worth nothing. Why are you keeping a Shabbat? You the only one going to go into the kingdom? Just you and a handful of brothers? Well, close the book up if you can't have mercy on Yahweh's people. You know they blind.
That's right.
And if we do your background check, don't get us doing background checks. You don't want to hear that. Well, that's been washed under the blood. No, it ain't. Folks, yeah, it is, but there are folks still experiencing trauma from stuff you don't done.
Yeah, that's right. That's
all
right.
you know. Right. They might be traumatized from the wickedness you have done to them.
That's right.
In the past. And now you have walking around here with your chest out, man or woman. I'm a Hebrew Israelite, and well, yeah, Yahweh have mercy on you. But look at the carnage that Yahweh, look at the carnage you've done. If they find about you, you won't want to know about that, would you? See, we got to stop being hypocrites. You know what I mean? You're not all that. None of us are. All of us have fallen short of what?
Yahweh's grace.
Of Yahweh, all of us.
Glory, man.
My righteousness is to him like a filthy rag.
Of course.
I'm nothing. But Yahweh,
we got to look in that mirror.
You got to look in that mirror and just say, man, I'm
every day.
And when we pray one of the things you say in the prayer before we start the flash, this flesh, I'm allowed to do anything at any moment.
Anything, man.
I'm prone to do it. Me. I can leave here, Shabbat Shalom everybody, and before I get home,
oh man,
who knows? I might curse something. I might get the thing hit me out and curse somebody out. But don't act like you all holy.
Correct. See.
And holier than everybody.
We floating on a cloud.
We floating on a cloud. And the only thing that and we can always envision saying, asking Yahweh, can I just kill him? Because can I get the word to take him out? You can imagine this. I'm just speaking now. I ain't thinking the scripture. You don't know what's being said in the heavens.
That's right.
That's my point. Yahweh, Yahshua is holding you down. Now, he's okay. I'm going to bring him or her to a certain point, and he's going to, now, my servant's going to change. Yeah, he don't did some foolishness, but guess what? He's going to repent, even in the truth. He'll see something down the line if Yahweh wants you to see it. So I'm not even going to judge the people. No, if they done you wrong, look how David dealt with it. When he was run out of town by Absalom. Yeah, right. He was throwing things at him. The guy was throwing rocks at him and telling him, "Oh, you took Saul's kingdom." You know, and you know who was it?
The mighty man was ready.
Yeah, he's a Benaiah.
Take that head off that dog.
Can I go? Let me do that. Exactly. Let me take care of that business. No, leave him alone. Maybe Yahweh wanted to say that. Because David knew the sin. He knew what he had done. See, David didn't forget. He ain't like y'all. He ain't like me.
So forgetful.
He didn't forget what he did to Uriah. He know what he did. Yahweh saw. He know Yahweh saw him. You think that brother was he was a man after Yahweh's own heart? I'm quite sure David knew. Yahweh don't did. I did this such a wicked thing before him. So I deserve it. If they gonna throw the rock, let them throw the rock, bro. Leave him alone. See, how can some of us can't stand to be said nothing to. David's the king. And you just a guy in America. A slave, ex-slave. And nobody can't say nothing to you when you wrong. And check your, hey man, you're right, you shouldn't have did it that way. How dare you? Who you shouldn't do that. Do you know who I am, brother? I got my anointing on me. Don't look at me like that. That's crazy. Man, nobody crazy out here. I got my anointing. Don't touch me. Well, anointing then. Go ahead, Uriah.
Verse 35. You shall do no unrighteousness in judgment, in meteor, in weight, or in measure. Just balances, just weight. A just ephah and a just hin shall you have. I am Yahweh your Elohim, which brought you out of the land of Egypt. Therefore shall you observe all my statutes and all my judgment, and do them. I am Yahweh.
So we read all those statutes dealing with being a holy people. In Leviticus 18 and 19. Those are statutes, right? And we got the ordinances were up front, big ordinances dealing with certain things.
Correct.
So I just like to we have to be humorous. We can't take ourselves so serious. Don't get me wrong. We laugh a little bit, but we want to, I'm gonna look in the mirror and say I can't, because I know what? My daughters see me, my good friends they see me when I'm at my regular best. They know well,
no good.
Yeah, good. But dad is like this all the time. And if dad say something stupid, your kids say, "Well, that was stupid, mom, dad." They may not disrespect you,
but they see it.
They see it, and if the spirit on you, y'all get the right spirit on you. Guess what? You may catch yourself and then go to your child and say, "Dad is sorry. I shouldn't have said that."
That's right.
Guess what? You know what that means to that child?
Teaching them to be
humble. Teaching them. Dad, what do you say again?
Teaching them to be humble.
You're teaching them. That's how they learn to be humble.
Yeah.
Because my daddy came over to me and said he was sorry. Right. And he'll do it in a minute if it come down to it.
We mess up too.
We mess up too.
Okay.
Mom came to me and told me, I was a little hard on you there. Now I should have, but we learn. You're teaching them,
and you have to reflect within yourself.
That's right.
That's the first thing.
If nothing can be brought to you,
right?
You can't. No organization or body or individual can move forward without having honest reflection. It's like you take a monthly account, like Eliyahu used to say, number your sins. You know what it says. As for our sins, we know them, right? We're supposed to know them. If you don't know them,
right? You commit them.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Right.
If you don't know them, you can't confess them, right? And then you can't be forgiven for them.
Exactly.
Right.
Because he's always ready to forgive. Yeah. And as you said, he'll bring it to our memory sometimes. I was a little hard with that brother. Yeah. And I may have offended him. So let me backtrack on that. Before I even pray good, let me see and I reach out to that brother.
That's right.
They say you got an issue with your brother. Leave the gift. Don't give
That's
right. Because it ain't gonna be received.
Yeah, don't sacrifice. That sacrifice is blemish. Go be reconciled with your brother. But now if I can't reconcile with you and I'm trying to reconcile, well, let it be. Let them be as a heathen. They want to act like people. But let's continue. Let's try to start. We almost running out of time. Yeah. But how much we got? About 15 minutes, thing?
Oh, 2.5.
Okay, we had 2.5 now? Yeah. Okay. Okay, well, let's do this. We didn't make it out, but I'll tell you what I wanted. Can we do this?
Yes, sir.
Let's go to verse 10. Can we do that?
No.
I'm gonna go to let's go to chapter 20.
You asked me a question. Hey, I'm gonna give you an honest answer.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah. Let's go to verse 10. Let's go. Yeah.
We're in Leviticus chapter 20, verse 1. And Yahweh spake unto Moshe.
Oh, I thought you said verse 10.
I so read to verse 10.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant want to start at verse 10.
No, verse 1. No. So 1 through 10. I apologize.
Okay.
Verse 1. And Yahweh spake unto Moshe, saying, Again, thou shalt say unto the children of Israel, Whosoever he be of the children of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn in Israel, that giveth any of his seed unto Molech, he shall surely be put to death.
Okay, now we're in the judgments. These are some judgments we're going to be seeing in Leviticus 20, right? So when you go to Leviticus 18, right, they talk about child sacrifice, giving those children unto Molech.
That's right.
Don't do that, right?
Yeah.
So now we're seeing what the judgment for sacrificing your child unto a demon or Molech, right? From Leviticus 20 through verses 5, I'm going to lay that out as you read it. Just continue to read. So now you're going to see the judgment. That first thing was what? They shall be what?
He says, he shall be surely put to death, and the people of the land shall stone him with stones.
Right? So he'll be killed by stoning.
That's
right?
That's
so
right.
Go back to, so if you want to make sure, go to Leviticus 18.
Mm-hmm.
That way you'll know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
The judgment right here. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Verse 3. And I will set my face against that man, and will cut him off from among his people, because he has given of his seed unto Molech, to defile my sanctuary, and to profane my holy name. And if the people of the land do anyways hide their eyes from him,
Okay.
when he giveth of his seed unto Molech, and kill him not, then I will set my face against that man, and against his family, and will cut him off, and all that go a whoring after him, to commit whoring with Molech from among their people.
So Yahweh going to take care of that business either way.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if y'all got to hide them, you see, a lot of times we're around, this is about child sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
Notice it says, he shall be put to death.
Mm-hmm.
That man, that woman ain't running out there, that she has a husband. That man and that woman made a decision, but the man is the head.
That's right.
He's the one worshiping that Molech,
Yeah.
right? For the household, apparently, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to, if the people, sometimes you can't protect people. You gotta let them deal with this situation.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? In their sin. So Yahweh said, I'm gonna take, didn't Eli get taken, the priest got taken care of?
That's right.
He could have took care of his sons who were doing all manner of stuff at the temple, correct?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
And Yahweh sent a prophet to him. He told him, your boys are getting out of line
Warned several times.
several times.
You had Samuel tell him in a dream from his dream.
But what happened in the end? Yahweh kept his word. I'm going to kill them boys
Mm-hmm.
because you love them. You love them more than me.
Right.
So I'm
That's
going
right.
to kill them.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I'm gonna kill you too, and there's not gonna be nobody from your seed.
Then he
From
took
your
the ark out.
And they took the ark out from under. See, Yahweh is not playing about certain things.
That's right.
So when Yahweh, when you're the head of a house,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta be careful.
That's so right.
The buck starts with you and ends with you. The buck starts with you.
Would you say this, my elder? This is like accessory to the crime when you turn a blind eye.
Isn't that what Adam did?
Is that woman you hear?
Right? That's Adam, right? He turned a blind eye, right? He sat there listening. He had the authority and the power to,
Correct. Yeah.
to nullify that whole
To make
thing.
it right.
I'm not gonna, no, put that down. No, don't touch it.
Mm-hmm.
Leave it alone. But again, will we be here? I don't know. But we understand the text though, right?
Correct.
We can at least understand the text.
Yeah.
Correct.
You're right. Adam turned a blind eye.
Yeah.
He looked over here. So he ratified her decision.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the thing went down, he ate.
He gonna throw her under the bus.
He gonna throw her under the bus. It's the woman. I was doing good.
Yeah, I went under the bus.
Yeah, you gave that woman, man. I didn't want her. Yo, I didn't want her. I was good. Did I ask for a woman?
I was doing just fine alone.
I didn't ask for no woman. Somebody, I always decided I needed a mate. Or what, you know? Of course, we're being light.
Yeah.
But the
No
reality is,
accountability.
there's no accountability. You gotta stand. It's on you.
Yeah.
So continue, my brother.
Yes, Elder. Verse 6. And the soul that turneth after such as have familiar spirits, and after wizards to go a whoring after them, I will even set my face against that soul, and will cut him off from among his people.
So now we just read that, the judgment over here of the Lord. It was in Leviticus 19, verse 31, right?
Mm-hmm.
Regard not them that have familiar spirits, neither seek after wizards to be defiled by them. I'm Yahweh your Elohim. And then it goes over it. Now, what's the judgment again for that?
It says, I will cut him off from among his people. Well, let me go back. He says, I will even set my face against that soul, and I will cut him off from among his people.
Now, we just discussed this, Elder Uriah.
That's
That
right.
cut off doesn't, it means, it doesn't say, it could be death
It could be
or banishment, right?
Yeah,
But they can just kill you.
or you can
One-
cut your seed off, and you wouldn't have no more seed.
Yeah.
to
Exactly.
have you too.
Exactly.
Whatever it is, that means you're cut off totally.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, your salvation is pretty much
And
gone.
some people get so desperate
Mm.
in this country, that's what they get into. They kind of find some kind of spiritual outlet
Mm.
to help them. Witchcraft, all kind of things, prognosticators and all those things. And
That's right.
a lot of our people, a lot of people are deep into those things. But I say they they're desperate in a way. And that's my language.
Mm.
Mhm.
Because we understand The reason I say desperate, because King Saul was in a situation. Yahweh had made a determination that he wasn't going to be king. And that was a wrap. He was cut off. So he went to the witch of Endor, correct?
That's right.
He didn't kill him.
He didn't kill him.
He was cut off.
He was cut off. He was not, his seed was going to be, your Nathan got cut off. They both died. That was it.
Correct.
But, and you're right.
But then he had some seed that was with Jonathan's son still.
Right. But my point is, but the point I was bringing up though, you're right. He had what that boy name? Mephibosheth. I can't pronounce his name. You know, because that was your Nathan's son, right? But the thing about it was that Saul, in his spiritual being cut off,
desperation.
That's why you term desperation. He went to a witch. But previously he had already stated that anybody deal with these witches, they're gonna be killed. That's right. Keeping the law, right?
Yep. And
the woman, the witch, was like, hey, you kind of tricked me. She didn't, you know, and she brought up an image, and we got time to go there, but I would throw Uriah under the bus, but I'm gonna do it because he's looking at me. Sorry, Captain. But the bottom line is, those are good examples. We don't have time. We can probably go back into it next week, y'all willing. But I want to let's just keep, but I think, again, that's King Saul. When he visited, he went to get an enchantment or get a vision or get some type of help from the witch, because he wanted her to conjure up Samuel for him.
Because Yahweh stopped dealing with it.
He stopped dealing with it.
But he's praying unto Yahweh. Yahweh does not answer.
He ain't dealing with it.
Man, that's rough.
That's rough. And now the question has been in discussions in the past, well, that vision came up like Samuel. But was that Samuel? See, now that's why Yahweh telling you, don't get caught up in these incantations, these wizards. Yeah. You might be dealing with a demon, but Yahweh got control of everything. Correct. He can make the things that still can tell you the truth. So, you know, but why are you know, it's a wrap. So don't get involved in these things because you'll find yourself confused and defiled before your Elohim. Yeah. But you can repent from it though, right? Yeah. You can repent.
For example, verse 7. Sanctify yourselves therefore and be you holy, for I am Yahweh your Elohim. And you shall keep my statutes and do them. I am Yahweh which sanctify you. For everyone that curses his father or his mother shall be surely put to death. He that cursed his father or his mother, his blood shall be upon him.
So now you can go all the way back to Exodus 20, and I think that's verse 5, or the fifth commandment, right? With thou shalt honor thy father and thy mother, right? That's See, right. So now it's adding more flesh to it.
No, just kind of fifth commandment, but that's what maybe verse 12,
Yeah, that's that fifth commandment. And so we have to be conscious, right, of what we're doing. We do with our parents. Honoring them is not only respecting them, you don't speak to them in derogatory manners. And that's what we had the issue up in Matthew 19 with when they came to him. You know, let's go there real fast. Just a little bit, and we're going to wrap that up. We're going to go finish up. But Matthew 19, when the disciples, the Sadducees came to him, I think about washing their hands. No, is that right? I might be in the right place. Let me make sure I'm right. Let me make sure I'm in the right place. I thought it was Matthew. Let me see. Maybe it's be followers of me. Let me make sure. Maybe did I get it wrong? Maybe it's Matthew 15. Yeah. Let me make sure. Maybe it's Matthew 15. Here, I apologize. No, it was Matthew 15. Matthew 15. The Gospel of Matthew. Just read that, Uriah, and you hold on where you're at.
We're on to start. We're on to from
verse 1.
Matthew chapter 15, verse 1. Then came to Yeshua's scribes and Pharisees, which were of Jerusalem, saying, Why do thy disciples transgress the tradition of the elders? For they wash not their hands when they eat bread. But he answered and said unto them, Why do you also transgress the commandment of Elohim by your tradition? For Elohim commanded, saying, Honor thy father and mother, and he that curseth father or mother, let him die the death.
So you see where that commandment, that fifth commandment, linked up what we just read in Leviticus. Say linked together. You got the overarching law, thou shalt honor. It don't mention about death for doing, but now we get to Leviticus 20, and now they don't linked it up. So Yahshua broke both of them down smooth. It's very smooth. Read the rest of that, Uriah.
Verse 5.
Yeah, who's reading? Uriah? Okay.
Verse 5. But ye say, whosoever shall say to his father or mother, it is a gift, by whatsoever thou mightest be profited by me, and honor not his father or his mother, he shall be free.
That's what they were teaching.
Yeah. Thus have you made the commandment of Elohim of none effect by your tradition.
Praise Yah. So now you can see Yahshua is not only magnifying the law, but he's also reminding them of the law.
Correct.
You're a hypocrite. You're telling you come to me, have the audacity to come to me about what your elders have taught you, your traditions.
Correct. And
you don't made the commandment of Yahweh to non-effect, and gave them the specific example about honoring thy father and mother in the 5th commandment, right? And also is the law in Leviticus 20, where we just read in verse 9, right? That your blood, they should be put to death.
That's the judgment.
That's the judgment.
Blood should be upon it.
Right. And see, now we're in these spiritual things. And we have to be careful, because we think that the law is still in the land. And when you're mistreating your people, you're following your mother. Let me tell you something. You find out somebody says something, they use the term, and for lack of a better, you're not going to have any good luck out here when you dishonor your father and mother. Are you expecting to prosper even in this situation we're in? How are you going to prosper? And next thing you know, you may not be killed, but they probably haven't praying for you. But I grew up in that type of environment. You're not going to have, as they used to say, any good luck with that, brother. We don't expect you to live too long around here, because you might get took any moment. Keep on, and a lot of us understand this. So that's what I grew up like that. And I saw cats carried on like that in my family, in family situations. So I'm not just speaking idly. They didn't have good prosperity. They didn't have no good times.
It's written, Elder. What does it say in Ephesians chapter 6? It says, honor thy father and thy mother, which is the first commandment with promise.
With promise.
See, he sweetened the pot up a little. See, all the other commandments, he didn't put anything with it. But he said, honor thy father and thy mother, that your days may be longer. That's what he sweetened it up with.
That's what he sweetened it up.
If you don't honor your father, your days won't be longer.
It won't be longer.
He put that in the book.
That's right. Praise God, bring that out. You're going to get cut off. And that judgment right here is on verse 9 is telling you, let them die to death. Now, they may not bring you out and drag you out, but he may allow somebody to kill you. A car accident, anything. And you know, why they died so early? You don't know what they were doing.
Like you said, he said that it may be well with you.
That be well with you. Yeah. So we got to get back to that family structure and community structure. And it may or may not happen here. I don't know. But we got to do our best. Right? That's all we can do. Continue, my brother. Verse 10, right?
Yes, sir.
That's what you were reading, right?
No.
I thought you were reading verse.
Leviticus chapter 20?
Yeah.
Verse 10. Okay.
It says, verse 10.
Okay.
And the man that committeth adultery with another man's wife, even he that committeth adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death.
Okay. Now, if you go to that goes back to the very beginning, Exodus 20, right?
That's right.
Dealing with thou shalt not commit adultery. And then we see that written down. You can go to Leviticus 18, but it doesn't really address it there, I don't think. No. If so. But the bottom line is that this is the judgment for it, right?
That's right.
Mashiach has to deal with the issue.
Okay. Well, let's go there. Now, Uriah, would you, y'all want to hit that one?
We can make that.
Okay. You make that the last one. Uriah, you want to go there?
Everything points to the Mashiach.
Okay, hold on. You read? Yeah, you didn't read but 10. You continue. Do you find it?
Where you want to
let's go to that situation with Yahshua. Yeah, go to John with it and find that. Okay. And so we can just show you that about this adultery. So now you see the law right here. This is going to be the last part of it. You know, so you only got 10. I want you to get some reading, Uriah.
Okay. It's in we're in the Gospel of John, chapter 8.
Okay. And I didn't want again, but you know, the Spirit just take over sometimes. That's what we want the Spirit to take over. John 5.
Chapter 8.
Okay.
I believe it's 1 through 11.
Okay. And this is now we're talking about adultery. It said, you know, so that we saw the law in Leviticus 20. What verse were we on?
It was verse 10.
Verse 10, right? And that if they caught in adultery, the man sleeping with another man's wife, right?
That's right.
That both the adulterer and the adulteress shall be what? Put to death, right?
That's right.
That's right.
Now let's see what the situation Yeshua had dealt with, and we'll wrap it up after this.
We're in the Gospel of John, chapter 8, verse 1. Yeshua went unto the Mount of Olives, and early in the morning he came again into the temple, and all the people came unto him, and he sat down and taught them. And the scribes and Pharisees brought unto him a woman taken in adultery. And when they had set her in the midst, they say unto him, Master, this woman was taken in adultery, in the very act. Now Moshe in the law commanded us that such should be stoned. But what sayest thou?
So now you know what law they're referring to, correct? Leviticus 20, verse 9, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's right.
Verse 6. This they said, tempting him, that they might have to accuse him. But Yeshua stooped down, and with his finger wrote on the ground, as though he heard them not. So when they continued asking him, he lifted up himself and said unto them, He that is without sin among you, let him cast the first stone at her.
As we said earlier, we all have sinned and have fallen short of the glory of Yah. But now, though, what we thought, let's look at this, keep in mind, the weightier matters of the law, omitting the weightier matters of the law. He said, this is what you should be more concerned about, judgment, mercy, and faith. Now, let's see how the Mashiach applies this judgment and shows us mercy. And let's find out if you're dealing with people the way the Mashiach dealt with them.
That's right.
Apply it in your own life.
Verse 8. And again he stooped down and wrote on the ground. And they which heard it, being convicted by their own conscience, went out one by one, beginning at the eldest, even unto the last. And Yeshua was left alone, and the woman standing in the midst. When Yeshua had lifted up himself, and saw none but the woman, he said unto her, Woman, where are those thine accusers? Has no man condemned thee? She said, No man, Adonai. And Yeshua said unto her, Neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more.
Okay, all right, buddy, let's wrap it up. Talk to me about it. Let's talk about it, and then we can wrap this up.
Man, Yeshua, man, that big brother saw the hypocrisy that was going on back then, man. I mean, how could a single one person committed adultery? Where was the man?
Right. They said they caught her in the very act.
Yeah, but where is the man?
That's my point.
He was probably one of the brothers standing around with him.
They're not saying that. You're right. That's the thing. Where's the man? But again, like you said, if you caught them in the very act, well, what happened to them? And to be caught, as you said, you got to have both of them. But you said you caught them in the act of fornicating or committing adultery, right? So it shouldn't have been a difficulty. You called her, why you couldn't catch him? He ran. You don't even give an explanation for him.
He ran.
I don't know. We got one of them. We got one. We got the woman.
The one that to suffer for both of them.
Yeah. So you can,
so hypocrite they were.
Yeah. You're looking at this thing, but then that's when you have to have the fullness. See, the law was only half full. You feel me? Because that flesh, right? Let me feel it. See, it was the law couldn't be perfect. The law's perfect. The flesh is the problem. Yeah. So even with the law, they were only right here. See, and they're doing hypocritical things.
Yeah.
Putting up, committing adultery, doing certain things. And who knows what was going on in antiquity going before this time. You might set a woman up. If you don't do this with me, I got a friend of mine going to say, I think that's written somewhere in the book of Enoch somewhere, right? Or
I got a witness.
Yeah, I got a witness. They run a game, bro. Yeah. So now you see why Yeshua had to come in here and fill that law up with the Spirit, right? Say, no. Okay, y'all want to do it? Let the one that's without sin, you cast the first stone. Knock them off. Go ahead and do it.
Look what they did, Elder. I'm sorry to interrupt you. He said this, they said, tempting him, that they might have to accuse him. Now, they didn't even damn about the law.
Exactly.
They just was trying to accuse him. Yeah, sure. It didn't have nothing to do with, let's keep this law. This is the law of Moshe.
Wow,
Let's
that's
honor
true.
this. It didn't have nothing to do with that.
That's
No.
true.
Let's see how we can accuse him.
Exactly.
That's it.
We're going to set him up. We're going to accuse him. He's not keeping the law of Moshe. He didn't want to kill him.
See?
Isn't that something?
They care less about keeping it. If they wanted to keep it, they would have brought the man and the woman.
He would have bought both
They
of
didn't
them.
care about. They didn't even care about keeping the law.
Running game.
See?
And see, that's why we have to have spiritual discernment
Correct.
when you're interacting with people, Elder Uriah.
That's
When
right.
you're dealing with
That's
even
right,
these
man.
churches and these camps, everywhere you go, you can't just be like this. You got to go back. You better open the book up yourself. And you better start doing some praying and some fasting and read how Yahshua is rolling. Correct. Everything points to him. Correct? The law, what did we say the other night? We had a discussion. The law said, it said something, we said, well, how Yahshua say show this mercy, omitting the way to match, show mercy, show judgment, and show some faith. But when you read the letter of the law itself, it just say kill him. Right? If you catch him in Leviticus 20, verse 10, they shall be put to death. So Yahshua, where can we find some loophole to show mercy and discretion? Right? You don't see it like that, right? But what did our discussion reveal to us? They had lawyers, they had judges. The Moshe had already set up a tribunal of 70 men, elders, who had got a portion of his spirit. And those tribunals stayed in effect all the way up until they crossed over into the Jordan with Joshua. And the elders died. Joshua died. That whole generation died off. And that's when they started doing the things according to every man went about doing their own thing, right? Right in their own eyes, correct? Right. So we always had the judges and those structures set up. So there was something wrong with that as well, because that meant you could bribe somebody. You could take not good measure. You go there and talk to a person, they looking at you, you know how they do it, being that woman. Well, so the legal system, the Sanhedrin that had been going on and on, that's the Sanhedrin even going back here with Moshe. And the Sanhedrin existed in Mashiach's time. That's the body. And they had small, petite Sanhedrin throughout the country. So you get the grand Sanhedrin in Jerusalem. But in other places in the community, there would existed, right? So we have to understand that it was the people that were making those judgments that he's talking about, right? So we have to, they could have shown mercy. But if you're sticking to the letter of the law,
you're dead.
Because you got to have evidence, right? So even in that evidence, you can, like in our court system, the judge can say, you know what? I see the testimony you brought, the witnesses, saying that she was caught in adultery. But you know what? I don't believe their credibility, though. And I'm not going to condemn this woman or this man to death. In the reality, the husband may be trying to get rid of the wife too. Get rid of everybody, for all we know. But you got to listen to the witnesses.
You got a policy.
Right. And look at what happened to the Mashiach. They were lying on him so bad. They were lying such crazy lies that the Sanhedrin couldn't even make a decision. They couldn't even, man, they are accusing him, but what? But nevertheless, I'm going to stop the class. We don't went on a little longer, but praise y'all for it. We're going to end the day's Sabbath discussion here. We're stopping in the book of Leviticus, chapter 20, and y'all willing, on the next Shabbat, we'll pick it up on verse 11, going forward. Today's class was entitled Leviticus, the Ways of a Holy People, Part 4. And I'm going to stop it right there. And as it is our custom, I'm going to turn it back over to you brothers. Anything you want to say before we depart about anything you want to talk about within this class.
With that last, Matthew, John chapter 8, where he went from 1 to, dealing with that. I would like to maybe read maybe 1 or 2 section.
Okay.
Just to look at it, what Yeshua was looking into.
Well, you could have told me that before we closed up. Why would you do that? See, this is what I'm saying, Captain. Go ahead, man.
Well, this is where the Spirit leads.
Go ahead, man.
This is where the Spirit leads me. In Matthew chapter 7, verse 1 and 2.
Go ahead, brother.
Sometimes certain, topic comes up and everything else.
You're good.
He said, judge not that you be not judged.
Hold on now.
For with what judgment you judge, you shall be judged. And with what measure you meet, it shall be measured to you. Again. Okay.
That's deep.
I know. Turn to Deuteronomy chapter 32. Just one verse. I'm not going to, Matthew 30. No, not Matthew. Deuteronomy 32. Verse 35.
Okay.
He said, to me belongeth vengeance and recompense. Their foot shall slide in due time, for the day of their calamity is at hand, and the thing that shall come upon them make haste. So you see what the Messiah is showing here. They are hypocrites. That's why Yahweh have to take judgment out of our hands. Because leave it up to us, we will kill, by what you said, the letter of the law. So, we have to give Yahweh, praises at all times, because, you have to take certain things out of our hands.
I'm glad you brought that up here in chapter 7 of Matthew, because it's putting it back on you. Do unto others as you have them do unto you.
Yeah.
You would want someone to show you some mercy in a situation when you slip or fall. It all depends on the context of what's going on. That's adultery, an example, but it could be, in the legal system, but the legal system of America, they don't show you no mercy.
That's right.
So they got over 1,500,000 people or more incarcerated in the United States, yet they're saying Russia is this and this, and Russia, of its own people, only got like 400,000 people in there. You got the bulk of the black folks in prison. And you did this consciously from 1970, from the time Richard Nixon and them playing their game, war on crime, and that was a way of destabilizing the black community and those brothers forming organizations, and for dealing with the left white people who were against the war. So you're going to use that marijuana and the war on drugs, and they kept doing that up until Reagan administration, and the population of prisons that kept increasing. Not because of all the violence, you just put people in jail on drug offenses, and just kept on with it, and put the dope in the community on top of it.
That's right.
So where's that mercy? Like you said, you're right. And that's what I'm saying. They want justice, they want mercy, but they don't know mercy and judgment.
That's right.
When it comes to other people.
That's right.
When it comes to you.
That's right.
So that's why we have to. I'm glad you brought that up.
Great, yeah.
That's the reason why when it comes to the law, you have to read and understand the whole law itself. Right,
and because that interpersonal mercy. See, when you see somebody got a hardness about them, you have to just kind of say, well, in particular when we're in this word, it just you have to just kind of sit back and say, what are you really doing? I'm not saying we're supposed to be meek. Don't mean you're weak.
That's right.
But they don't mean you are. They don't mean that
hammerhead. Are you gonna?
Because Yeshua is telling you, be careful now.
Yeah.
Like he told that sister, I condemn you not. Go and sin no more. So she was in violation, but Yeshua wouldn't have said that. They didn't bring the man, but he knew something about her. Oh, he knew something. Sin no more. I know they got you. You were doing it. You were getting in. You did it. You barely made it out of this one. You better be lucky I was here. Thankful I was here. Not luck. This was already written that they were going to do you this way.
Correct.
So you should be the main one praising Yahweh after this. But they were ready, whether they had the guy or not. They had the stones. They were just saying, Yeshua, if he say anything contrary to Moshe's law,
So
only thing he just said, he without sin, cast the first. Cut him. Cut. And I'm gonna give it over to. Go ahead.
Okay.
No, go ahead. You had something to say.
No, I was gonna say Obi said it right. There wasn't after the woman.
No.
They were just trying to tie the Mashiach.
Yeah.
Correct.
Catch him in the law, because they were going to use that to accuse him that he's not keeping the law of Yahweh, of Moshe, by giving her a break.
Yeah.
You getting that dialogue? Just like he dealt with Satan the same way. He just threw the law. He's a little man. who I'm not going to stop you. Who is without sin? You catch the first stone. One of y'all should knock her out first.
Yeah.
But you follow what I'm saying?
I follow exactly what you're saying.
Something was on him. But you can imagine, we can't hear the words, but you know it's something about the Mashiach when he said that, and they listening. They just look. Man, I'm getting out of here. I ain't gonna be part of this. Everybody started booking and said, hey, I gotta go. I'll with y'all just for the show. This man don't do something out here.
Right.
And I know what I just did yesterday. I was the one committing adultery myself. I just didn't get caught. And I'm with the crowd today to stone somebody else. Isn't that something? Is that not how people do?
Yeah.
You know, but go ahead, Elder. I mean, Deacon, I'm gonna get over to you. You have anything to say?
No.
Okay.
Praise God. Like my elder said, we gotta show mercy. And like we were saying at the beginning of the class, you know, it's not easy in this walk. So we just want to encourage our people to remain persistent.
Right.
And I want to read that definition one more time.
Go ahead.
That's what I would see. Firm or obstinate continuance in a course of action in spite of difficulty or opposition. So that's it. Just remain persistent. And praise Yah. Praise Yah for win, lose, or draw. Praise Yah.
Right.
Regardless of what, you know, we have to persist and just continue to have faith. Thank you for supporting us and praise Yah.
Praise Yah. Hey, thank you, my elder.
All right.
It's my man right here.
No, man.
All right, man. All right, my brother.
Praise Yah.
But hey, you know, again, with that, we're going to we just thank you, as the brother said, for tuning in with us and sharing this. And thank you for sharing your Sabbath with us. This day, we're blessed to be here, and we're honored to be able to bring in and discuss the things that Yahweh has given us. So with that, I would like to just say Shabbat Shalom, and just enjoy this holy day and keep